last game in the NFL today as the 2-1 New England Patriots take on the undefeated New Orleans Saints. And hi again, everyone. With Sam Wyche, this is Kevin Harlan. Undefeated. I can't believe we're saying it 3 games into the season.
It's hard to say. Part of the reason is that their turnovers have been corrected. Last year they were minus 19. They're plus 6 coming into this ball game. The other part is Mike Ditka has molded this team in his own image like he did in Chicago. He said he wanted tough guys that would fight you. And that's cha. That rhymes with duh. Could the duh Saints be far behind? I think so.
Well, they're playing great, but New England is playing well too. Now, they had a bye last week coming off a win, so they're 2-1, and it seems to be the same old story with a great quarterback in Drew Bledsoe.
You know, it's been fun watching this guy grow professionally. When he first came in the league, very quiet guy, was a guy that had all the shots. He could throw the ball deep down the field on line. He could lay the ball off short. He was really pretty good at the line of scrimmage and in the huddle, but he was just a quiet guy, and now you see the true field general. You can see it in his eyes, but more importantly, when you talk to people about him, the players, the coaches, the guys that he has to lead, they all believe in him too. This one's going to be a terrific game.
Somewhat of a surprise as well as you take a look at Doug Bryan, who will be kicking off for the New Orleans Saints. And deep back, a potential Pro Bowl kickoff return man in Derek Cullors, along with Chris Canning. There's Cullors, who they like a lot, plays in a reserve third down running back role, and a kid you're going to have to watch over the years in the league. Here we go from Louisiana. The Saints and the Patriots, and Cullors will take it from the 2-yard line and then trips, and he dives out to the 17. And that's where Drew Bledsoe, the third-rated AFC quarterback, will take it over. Bledsoe has thrown 4 touchdowns and has not thrown a single interception this year as the quarterback of the New England Patriots. And a player is down. That is Aaron Craver, who is a reserve fullback for Mike Ditka's New Orleans Saints.
Well, you know, number one, you don't like to see your team start off with a stumble, and the number two, of course, on the other side of the ball, you don't want to see anybody go down on either side, but to see a guy like Aaron Craver, who helps him on not only their special teams, but he's a valuable backup at the running back.
So there's Drew Bledsoe, as durable a quarterback as you will find in the National Football League. And let's take a look at the New England Patriots, a offensive line that has been together for many years. The great Bruce Armstrong with Lane, Woolabaugh, Todd Rucci, and Zephyrus Moss at the right tackle. They start a rookie running back in Robert Edwards, who scored a touchdown in each of his games his rookie season. The blocking back is Tony Carter. Terry Glenn and Sean Jefferson are the wide receivers, and the tight end is Ben Coates. And in talking to Bledsoe yesterday afternoon, he told you that even though Coates has 3 catches this season, Coates is his guy.
Well, he's the go-to guy, no question about it. But he is also a guy that's coming off an injury. He's had a tough season this year. You know, his aunt passed away. His 38-year-old sister passed away. He's had a little off-field deal with the courts, and he's had to get his life together and get his mind on football. But he is the guy that Drew Bledsoe likes to go to in the clutch situation. Let's see how it unfolds today.
So Craver is up, the former Dolphin, Bronco, and now Saint from the 17-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. They send Coates in motion, and Bledsoe goes right to work and throws a strike, caught by the aforementioned Coates, who's got a first down. He's to the 31. He picks up 15 yards on the play with Rob Kelly tripping him up there. The New Orleans defense, and they have played well for Mike Ditka on the line. Brady Smith, Wayne Martin, the many-time Pro Bowler, Leroy Glover, and Joe Johnson, their franchise player. Linebackers Mitchell Aliaga makes his first NFL start today. Fields is on the wing. And in the secondary, Molden, Coda, Kelly, and Tyrone Drakeford, the former 49er. First down on 1st and 10. The handoff, Robert Edwards out of Georgia. Hit and brought down by Joe Johnson and Brady Smith, the left end. He loses a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
And Brady Smith corrected a mistake he made on the first play, because he just flat out blew coverage on the first play to leave Ben Coates wide open. And on this one, though, he held his ground. This is a tenacious defense that Mike Ditka's put together with the New Orleans Saints. They will fight you to the very end. There are going to be a lot of players when the play ends. Watch today how many black jerseys are in the frame, because they're all coming.
Edwards the lone back on 2nd down 11. There goes a flag, and there goes a tight spiral thrown by Bledsoe. It's incomplete. Looking for fullback Tony Carter. The flag is back near the line of scrimmage, and Tony Careni is our referee today.
Rob Kelly, good shot right at the end of that play. Every time I see that, I wonder about the lead with the head. Boy, you hit down the field. Remember, that head's right between each shoulder, and if you try to hit with the shoulder, the head sometimes gets in the way, and of course that's a no. That's a fine.
Ask Mark Carrier.
Yes, sir.
Illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. The penalty is declined. 3rd down.
You know, Mark Carrier was fined for a play very similar to this. In fact, he's suspended even after his appeal to the commissioner. But you see the head is leading there. But there's really no other way to hit a guy like that. You're going to either have to come under him or you're going to have to go up through him.
So it's 3rd and 11 from the shotgun. Bledsoe colors by his side. Great time for Bledsoe, who throws incomplete. Another flag is thrown at the 40. A second flag comes in as well. He was looking for wide receiver Troy Brown, who's had a great beginning to the 98 year.
And you know, when you're a fighting kind of a defense, this is what happens. You get a few of these aggressive mistakes. Let's see what the call is.
Against the Saints, it was 3rd and 11.
Pass interference. Number 23, defense.
That's a nickelback Chris Hewitt.
We were talking to Tyrone Drakeford last night, and he was saying, you know, we've got to reroute these guys. We're going to have to harass them coming off the ball. We want to make sure they know they've been in a battle. And when you do it, if you hit them past 5 yards, you're going to get that flag.
So it's a penalty which gives New England a 1st down outside their 36 in a scoreless 1st quarter. Bledsoe gets a block from Moss, but up the middle the pressure comes. The pass is batted down by Wayne Martin. He came right into the face of Bledsoe, knocked it away, and Ink Aliaga, who is making his first start, a former rookie free agent, right up the gut.
Now the pressure is going to be coming from the outside here at the top of your screen. 2 blitzers came inside right there. Number 59 is Keith Mitchell, and number 54, Ink Aliaga, who's starting in place of Kevin Mitchell, who is actually starting in place of Winfred Tubbs, who left to go to San Francisco a year ago. But they brought 2 guys with only 1 blocker available from New England. One of them was going to get free.
Martin making his 116th consecutive start today.
So Bledsoe give a little signal to his receiver.
On the 37, 2nd down and 10, and the handoff goes to the swerving rookie Robert Edwards, who picks up 4. Running the football has been a concern for the Patriots early in the season.
Robert Edwards got to replace Curtis Martin. This is a draw. You notice the quarterback came, looked downfield for an instant. As you watch Robert Edwards run right there, though, he hesitated at the line of scrimmage just a little bit. All you're doing is allowing the defense to close on you. You've got to decide what you're going to do and hit it. The coaches last night told us, when we were talking to the different coaches, unnamed as they wanted to be, that he's got to learn to accept the hole and go.
3rd down and long, 5 from the gun. Bledsoe again flush from the pocket and throws a strike, and a 1st down catch made by Troy Brown. He picks up 6. He makes his 12th catch of the year. And Brown, who has kind of worked from special teams now to one of the key ingredients for this offense, gets the grab. Tyrone Drakeford makes the tackle.
Out of the shotgun, Drew Bledsoe last night told us he likes that shotgun because he feels like he can sense who's coming. And I said earlier, he's got all the shots. He could throw that ball online to the left. He looked down the field for about 2.5 seconds before he decided to go to the left and still got it there in time.
He looks more mature to you.
Absolutely. He's grown up big time.
It is a 1st down from the 48, 7th play of the Patriot opening game drive. Robert Edwards makes a miss, and he gets about 11 down to the 41-yard line of the Saints, tackled by Keith Mitchell, and it's a gain of about 10.5.
You know, when your linebackers and your defensive backs are involved in the first hit, that is something else. Look at number 71 is going to pull around. There's Todd Rucci. He makes the key block, and then it's Robert Edwards after that. This is what he brings to this ball club. He's a powerful back. He has not fumbled this year, although he did at the University of Georgia. A lot of people are wondering if he was going to be a fumbler in the NFL, but he has not dropped one yet.
Robert Edwards, one of 2 first-round draft choices for Pete Carroll. The other one, Bucky Jones, is on the defensive side. It is a 1st down on the game opening drive from the 41-yard line for New England. Bledsoe goes high and incomplete, and again looking for Troy Brown. He was covered by safety Rob Kelly. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Really, the people involved in that one is Brady Smith and Joe Johnson. Both of them big guys came in and they forced Drew Bledsoe to release the ball high. When he released it high, didn't take something off of it. It didn't drop in, just flew over everybody's head. You know, I was watching Drew Bledsoe on the very first play. He looked over to his receiver. It was a running play, second play of the game. Looked over on a running play, patted his face mask as if to give the wide receiver a signal, like a pattern, like a pass was coming. That's maturity. That's growing up in this game.
2nd down and 10. They stop that play as everybody's jumping. Looked like Keith Mitchell, perhaps the starting outside linebacker, may have crossed.
You know, the guys that
Prior to the snap,
jump offside of the New England Patriots, but not this time.
They called against New England.
Oh,
he was induced. He was induced.
You can't flinch or move, even if you're in a 2-point stance as an offensive lineman. Once you have assumed the position, you are in that still move. You see, nobody's moving here. You cannot flinch. We had actually 2 people. I think that time it was.
It could have gone
either way.
Left
side. Yeah, the movement was on the left side. It was Armstrong, but the jump came from the other side. Those defensive ends look all the way down the line, looking through the ball. They can see things happen on the other side.
With the penalty, make it 2nd down and 15. Shotgun snap to Bledsoe. Broke 1 tackle and slings a pass incomplete for receiver Terry Glenn. He was covered by a former first-round pick for the Saints, Alex Molden. Incomplete. 3rd and 15 coming up.
Alex Molden just gets the jump of this straight down the field. There'll be a little burst right here. See that little bit of burst? The shoulders dip, the arms pump hard. Molden wasn't fooled. All over that play. Terry Glenn will scare you, though, because he's got the speed to go by you. And once his shoulder starts to dip, you better be ready to turn and run with him. And that's when most of those breakoff patterns work, and not that time against Alex Molden.
Patriots have to get to the 31 on 3rd and 15. Great blocking by Moss. The toss to Coates will be shy of the 1st down as he gets as far as the Saint 37. Coates makes his 2nd catch today, picks up 9, tackled by linebacker Don Davis. And now it'll be 4th down and about 5.
Bledsoe said he would go to. Now watch this blocking right here on the right side. Look at that. Look at that. That's like they do at training camp when they're really tired. And we call that they dance together, you know. Only they were really trying hard in a regular game.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah, 4th down, though. They're just in that in-between territory. They're going to go for it. 4th down and 6.
What would you do?
Well, I think right now they're just saying to the Saints, we think we can beat you. We're going to do it early.
4th and 6. The blitz comes. Bledsoe reads it. There's a first down grab at the 25 by Terry Glenn. Picks up 12 on 4th and 6. Alex Molden was beaten. What a pass by Bledsoe.
This Glenn's going to come from the outside, break to the inside, 1-on-1. But look at the blitz. Everybody disappears. There's nobody underneath. If you blitz, you better get there. If you don't get there, you're leaving your defenders out on a limb because they've got no help. And they've got to try to take away the inside. The problem that Molden made right there was that he didn't take away the inside cut by Terry Glenn.
This is the opening drive of the game for Pete Carroll. They went to the 17 on the kickoff, and Ernie Zampese has orchestrated his offense to the 25-yard line of New Orleans. 1st and 10, Bledsoe going deep to the end zone. Knocked away. What a play. Rob Kelly, a 2nd-round pick a year ago out of Ohio State, and a reserve until an injury, makes a terrific play at the goal line.
And what they've done is they've isolated a receiver going to the corner, and they've matched him up with a safety. When you can get a wide receiver, Terry Glenn, matched up with a safety, the advantage ought to be to the offense. More speed. The safety's not used to making those coverages out in the open field. He's usually got help on both sides. Big play for Rob Kelly, who is in the lineup because Sammy Knight is hurt.
And was in the lineup last week in overtime and got an interception against Peyton Manning in Indianapolis. 2nd down 10. A block from Carter. Great crease is found by rookie running back Edwards. Tackled by Rob Kelly, but not after. Edwards slithers for a gain of 7.
This time, Robert Edwards took the hole. Of course, it was so big, it was like you can't turn this one down, right? Tremendous blocking up front for Robert Edwards, and that's what they need because when you build the confidence, look at the size of that hole right there. When you're trying to build confidence in your running back, you want to make sure that he's looking at a lot of big holes like that just to give him a chance to go ahead and take it.
On his first carry as a pro at Mile High Stadium, similar call, similar hole. And that has gotten him off to a great start in the NFL. 3rd and 3. Carter, the fullback, in motion. Bledsoe with an empty backfield throws. Intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Alex Molden. Patriots turn the ball over for the first time this year. The Patriots' first turnover of the season. Bledsoe's first interception in 116 passes. On 1st and 10, the handoff goes to Lamar Smith as the ball was picked off by Molden, returned out to the 10-yard line, and Danny Wuerffel and the Saints take over from there. And on 1st down, hands off to Lamar Smith. There is the former Heisman Trophy winner out of the University of Florida.
As you mentioned, talking to him last night, he's played for 2 demanding coaches in Steve Spurrier and Mike Ditka. And as a result, he's a guy that just listens to the coach. He actually said that Steve Spurrier called him last week and said, just listen to what they say and do it. Reminding him of where he was at the University of Florida.
2nd down, long 7. First pass today by Wuerffel, caught by tight end and a rookie, Cameron Cleveland. He caught the game-winning pass last week in the Dome in Indianapolis, and he picks up 4 there. Tackled by middle linebacker Ted Johnson. Pretty good offensive line for the Saints. The great Willie Rolfe with the rookie Turley, Fontenot, the former Bear, Naoli, a first-round pick a year ago, and Clarence Jones is back. In the backfield, Lamar Smith, the former Seahawk, blocking back Zellers, Dawkins, and Hastings, the wide receivers, and Cleveland, the rookie tight end out of Washington. It's 3rd and 3. Wuerffel rolling out of the pocket, throws to Cleveland again, has the first down as he's up to the 24-yard line. He is the leading receiver on the team. He picks up 7. Tackle made by Lawyer Malloy. The defense of New England is 14th rated in the NFL. On the line, Sullivan, Eaton, Henry Thomas, and McGinnis. Injured today, Farrah Collins, he won't play. Great linebackers, as good as there is in the NFL. Slade, Johnson, and Collins. And a terrific secondary, even though they got a second-year starter in Canny with Law, Malloy, and Willie Big Play Clay. It's 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints in a scoreless first quarter. Wuerffel gives off. Lamar Smith picks and pokes his way up to the 32-yard line, picking up 6 on 1st down. Tackle made by Todd Collins.
Todd Collins is the quarterback on defense for this ball club. The safety comes up. Willie Clay comes up just as the ball is snapped. They still ran in that direction, but they ran inside of him. It's just solid blocking up front. And Mike Ditka told us yesterday, we're just going to run this football as hard as we can. Coming out of the game, though, Jerry Fontenot, the center, that's going to be a factor.
They bring in Andy McCollum.
Andy McCollum, who practiced at left guard all week because they thought they might have to move Kyle Turley, the starting left guard, over to right tackle because of an injury to Clarence Jones' ankle. Lots of moves on that offensive line.
So an injury called here in New Orleans. The starting center for the Saints, Jerry Fontenot, the longtime Chicago Bear, is out. He has never missed a game. Today was his 106th consecutive start. Ackerman will take his place. 2nd down and 4. Wuerffel to the side and throws him back of intended wide receiver Andre Hastings. An NFL update to New York, and here's Jim Nantz.
All right, Kev. Coach Wyche, check it out. Here comes the old swinging gate play. It amounts to a 2-point conversion for the Colts. Tim Dilger runs it in and followed a Peyton Manning touchdown pass to another New Orleans native, Marshall Faulk, and the Colts lead in the rookie quarterback bowl. Back to you down in New Orleans.
That does look like a Wyche type of play.
Well, no, I actually rejected that. I wouldn't go that far. But it worked for the Colts, so congratulations.
3rd and 4. Smith in motion out of the backfield. And Wuerffel on the run again. This time he connects, and he's got a first down pass off to the former Pittsburgh Steeler, Andre Hastings. He's up to the 36.
Well, the New England Patriots are going to make an adjustment pretty soon here because the Saints are working to their right. They're getting Danny Wuerffel outside to the right. He'll be moving to his right now and then just breaking to the outside on really an easy throw. Normally you just throw when you're moving to the right, you throw right at the body. but this is an easy throw. It's a nice way to start for Danny Wuerffel. Low percentage of mistakes there.
He's a great third down receiver, Hastings is, as we just saw. So it's 1st and 10, 7th play of the St. drive. On the 36, some play action by Wuerffel. Now the pocket crumbles. Chris Sullivan makes the sack. His first of the year, and he loses 3 yards. Wuerffel does, as he has to eat the football. And Sullivan, and a flag thrown, and it's a hold against the New Orleans Saints, which was on the bottom of the pile where Wuerffel was sacked.
Now watch Sullivan. He's going to be coming from this side. He's replacing in the ballgame today Ferry Collins, who is injured right now. Sullivan is more of a pass rusher. Here you see him, number 74. He's going to come back in the screen. He's more of a pass rusher. As he comes up the field, he's got the pass rush, outside technique, and now watch him dip back underneath. And of course the quarterback does what he's supposed to do, climb back into that pocket. In this case it didn't work. Pocket collapses for him. Clarence Jones, that right ankle may be bothering him a little bit.
So Sullivan, after he records his first career sack, makes it 2nd down 13 from the 34. Good block by Rofe. And a little shovel pass. It was intended for Ray Zellers, who dropped it. Incomplete pass. He was hit at the last second by Chad Eaton, who came in, the second-year player from Washington State.
Well, I tell you what, the officials immediately call this an incomplete pass. But let's see. It looked like he had possession on it. Don't shuffle right here. Going to Zellers. He's got both feet and possession. Then he dropped it. But look at the official up here at the top. He's waving incomplete immediately. They're all over it. The rule is, of course, if you have possession and control of it and both feet down in the field of play, it's a completed pass. Anything after that would have been a fumble.
Which is good for Wuerffel. He has converted both third downs he's faced today. It's 3rd and 13 here. They fake the blitz. Moving up is Wuerffel. He has to shovel pass it again, and it's caught at the 37 by Craver. He only picks up 4, and it's 4th down. They got a punt.
Well, what happened here, the New England Patriots did to the Saints what they don't want to have happen. They left themselves a 2nd and long after the sack, the initial sack on 1st down. A lot of 1st down passing so far by the Saints to create a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4 situation. Put Wuerffel in a 2nd and long, and you see what happens. They end up 4th and 9.
Mark Royals led the NFL in punts a year ago, but has not had a touchback this season. He's got a deadly guy he's kicking off to right here in Troy Brown. Punt is away, and Brown from the 25 breaks 1 tackle, gets a block, has room to roam, and there he goes. Brown is off to the races. A block by Brewski. He's in Saints territory to the New Orleans 37-yard line. Finally tackled by Kendall Gammon. A punt of 39, a return of 39. So now Bledsoe, who just threw an interception, gets it right back deep in Saints territory. With Sam Wyche, Kevin Harlan, the Louisiana Superdome. After a 39-yard punt return by Brown, the Patriots have it at the New Orleans 37. A handoff, a block by Carter, a run by Edwards, and he gets 2 for his waylaid by Alex Molden on the wing. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Just establish the run kind of. Now, if you look right here, Tony Carter, number 30, he's going to get the first block coming up the seam. Take it up the field, Robert Edwards. Right now, he's still wasting 1 step too many. If a good runner who's been in this game a long time, knowing the speed much faster than when he played at the University of Georgia or any college, everybody's fast out there. Once that good runner gets used to the speed on the other side of the ball, he'll take it 1 step sooner, and he's going to pick up more yards.
2nd and 9 from the 36. Bledsoe finds a wide open fullback in Carter, who's decked at the 31. Picks up about 4 yards on the play, make it 5. Carter with his 8th catch of the season. That will set up 3rd down and about 3. Tackle made by the former 49er, Tyrone Drakeford, at the corner.
And the former Bear, Tony Carter, makes the catch. They said not only is he a good blocker, but he is a good receiver out of the backfield. They brought him here to help Robert Edwards get started in the National Football League. Good lead blocker up front, but boy, I'm telling you, in this kind of an offense, when you've got to have alternate receivers, that fullback has to catch.
He's replacing Sam Gash and Keith Byers. 3rd down and 4. Good time for Bledsoe. Throws, and a backpedaling catch made by Ben Coates to the 20. It's a 1st down and a pickup of 10.
Okay, Ben, I tell you, everybody's pulling for you right here, babe, because you've had a tough year, but you are the go-to guy. Here's Ben Coates right here, going to come up, and he's just going to break to the inside. Watch the touch right here by Drew Bledsoe. You see the ball is about halfway there when then coach turns around. It's the only way you'll complete a pass like that, with tight coverage.
Coates has caught 3, 1st and 10. Edwards shifting gears and is down to the 16, picking up 4. Tackle made by right end Joe Johnson. Here's another AFC-NFC battle today. And you see in the East, it's the Patriots trailing Miami, playing the Jets today by 1 game.
Really strong teams right here. The Jets may be a little bit of a disappointment, I think, around the league, and of course to Bill Parcells, because they finished so strong. They looked like they had so much promise. Vinny Testaverde, of course, going to quarterback today as they kind of decide which is the right quarterback, with Glenn Foley hurt a little bit.
So the defending AFC East champion Patriots have it 2nd down and 6. Edwards on the draw. A block from Carter. And a play that produces about 3. It may have only gained 1, but the block was there by Carter. Tackle made by Chad Cota. And in the division the Saints are in, they are tied. Number 1 slot with San Francisco.
Let's move them up here in front, for at least for the moment. What do you say? Let's give them top billing here. 3-0, and they've done it, as Mike Ditka said, boy, we just fight and scrap and claw. Maybe we didn't deserve to win 1 or 2, but if you play hard enough, long enough, you get those wins.
Last time that Bledsoe was down this deep, he threw a goal line interception. 3rd down along 2. Brown is in motion. Bledsoe with time, pocket down, he's hit, and down he goes, and sacked by Joe Jackson.
That's a coverage sack. He certainly had time to do it. Joe Johnson, though, is coming off the upside right here. Here you see him. He's just going to keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. Anytime you hold the ball over 3 seconds, you're going to get sacked, or you're going to be forced to scramble out of the pocket. You move within the pocket for about 3 seconds, finding the throwing lane after that, scramble, and throw it away.
So the Saints defense holds New England to a 3-point try, which is easily converted by Adam Vinatieri. And this great position was set up on a punt return of 39 yards by Troy Brown. But New England can't get it in, and the defense of New Orleans holds again. Nonetheless, it's New England 3, the Saints nothing. Short of a sellout by a couple thousand fans, and after a 34-yard field goal, Adam Vinatieri kicks off. Patriots on top 3-zip, and Patry Ismail from the 2-yard line. He's got speed, and they call him the missile. And he's inside the 30 to the 29 and tackled by reserve cornerback Steve Lofton. So the Saints will get it back, but they'll have to do it without their starting center, Jerry Fontenot, out for the game after he started his 106th consecutive game today. It's 3-0 New England. A Drew Bledsoe interception, a long punt return by Troy Brown. The 2 notable things for the Patriots in this game. Great defense so far by New Orleans. Vinatieri, a 34-yard field goal. We're late in the 1st quarter, and on 1st and 10, the pitch out goes to Notre Dame alum Ray Sellers, who tries to turn the corner. Picks up perhaps 3, setting up 2nd down and 7. Tackle made by Chris Sullivan. Coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report, join Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert for all the scores and highlights. Plus a look at what's so special about the kick and the punt returns this year. We've seen one great return already in this game. All coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. 2nd down, 7 from the 30. Lamar Smith, the former Seahawk, twisting and turning his way for a meager gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and long. Henry Thomas, the former Viking and Lion, there with the tackle.
2nd series in a row now. They've put young quarterback, 2nd year, Danny Wuerffel, in a 3rd down and long situation. Last week, Steve McNair completed the first 10 passes for Tennessee against New England. 10 for 10, and they were all those short little quick stuff, and that's the way the Saints have started out today. But they've got to get a little bit more 1st and 2nd down, because these 3rd and longs, the quick pass is not enough for the 1st.
I don't know if he's going to try to get this off before the end of the quarter. He's facing 3rd and 5, and he just does get it back to him in the shotgun pocket. Drowns him, and he goes down hard with the tackle made by Chris Slade after a gain of 4 by the hurried quarterback Wuerffel.
You're going to see the Patriots, they fly around, they're all over the place, and you get a quarterback in a tough situation. 3rd down and long is tough situation, whether you're a veteran or a rookie. You're going to see more of those Cliff Slade tackles.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Patriots 3, the Saints nothing. We'll return to the Louisiana Superdome after this message and a word from your local station as you're watching the NFL on CBS. We begin the second quarter with a 4th and 2 for the Saints. They'll punt. Mark Royals, who had some great kicks last week in overtime in Indianapolis, but does not force a lot of fair catches, gets off another rocket. Brown back for the Patriots at the 15. Up the middle he goes, and he's up to the 33-yard line. Another quality return. Vernon Crawford made a nice block. 18-yard return. Pete Carroll happy. He's got his offense in good field position again. Welcome back to the Louisiana Superdome, where the New Orleans Saints trailed the New England Patriots 3-0. We're joined by the owner of the New England Patriots, Bob Kraft, who is here watching, of course, his Patriots lead. And we'll get this one play in before we go to the president and the owner of the team. And here on 1st and 10 goes Drew Bledsoe down the middle. And it's caught. Terry Glenn with a great block on the play from Jefferson, and he's all the way to the 25-yard line of the New Orleans Saints. Terry Glenn, who's had a great beginning to this season with a terrific block from Jefferson. And here Bob Kraft is a player that there was some question when he was initially drafted by Bill Parcells. You guys stuck with him, and already you can see he's going to be a great receiver in the future.
Well, he's one of those special people. Ernie Zampese told me he's been exposed to a lot of wide receivers, but no one with the talent and potential that he has. So that's pretty exciting for us as Patriot fans.
He's got wonderful credentials. Here on 1st and 10 is a handoff going off to Robert Edwards. And the rookie from Georgia works his way to the Saint 23 and a gain of a couple.
Mr. Kraft, we've got expansion coming. Got the Cleveland Browns next year, and then the next following years down the way, we're going to have a new team. Can you give us a clue? What's the city? Is it going to be Los Angeles, Houston, or is there another one?
Well, I think the league did such a good job in the leadership of turning that situation Cleveland around. I think it's between Houston and L.A. Houston's done a great job with their stadium proposal, and we're after L.A. to do the same.
2nd down and 8 from the 23 of New Orleans on a big play by Terry Glenn. Empty backfield for Bledsoe. From the shotgun, the blitz comes. He's hit and brought down, and a fumble, and it's recovered. Here comes the Saints, and with it, Ink Aliaga. Make it Keith Mitchell. He'll go the length of the field. No penalty flags, and a touchdown. Ink Aliaga made the hit. Keith Mitchell returns it, and a touchdown for the New Orleans Saints.
Just good pass rush. Drew Bledsoe feels it, tries to pull the ball in, but he's stripped loose from it. Ink Aliaga in the ball game for the first time, and then it's Keith Mitchell all the way down the sideline untouched.
Officially 63 yards on the pickup by Keith Mitchell, a second-year player from Texas A&M. We're just into the second quarter, and the New Orleans Saints go up on the Patriots for the first time today. The extra point by Doug Bryan, who's up and in. Bob Kraft, thank you for stopping by. Good luck with your stadium plans up in New England.
Thank you very much.
Bob Kraft with us. New Orleans on top 7-3. Well, I don't know what kind of luck Bob Kraft brought his New England Patriots, but it wasn't very good because New England on and Pete Carroll is furious, thinking it was not a fumble.
He's been talking to the official the entire time we've been away because he felt like maybe that Drew Bledsoe was in the grass. The whistle should have been blown.
Here's the kickoff by the New Orleans Saints. Chris Canny at the 15. He's up to the 22-yard line. And the tackle made by Gerard Cherry. Canny, a second-year player out of Kansas State. And now, after the huge gain to Terry Glenn that got New England deep in New Orleans territory, and that was good for 43 yards, Bledsoe was whacked by Ink Aliaga. Ball was coughed up, picked up by Keith Mitchell, racing 63 yards, and a touchdown. And the Saints, the unbeaten Saints, lead New England 7-3. New England has turned it over twice in the game after coming in without a single turnover all year. First and 10, right on the money. Throws a dart to tight end Ben Coates. His 4th catch today, picks up 11 and a New England first down to the 33. Tackle made by safety Rob Kelly.
Rob Kelly's right on the coverage. Ben Coates is just running sharp, clear patterns. And as Drew Bledsoe told us last night, he's the go-to guy. When I feel like I need to get a sure completion after a fumble for a touchdown, for example, he goes right to him. Drew Bledsoe, though, I think went over to the sideline and probably mentioned to Pete Carroll, look, I felt like I was down. I had control of the ball. Should not have been a fumble. Argument falls on deaf ears.
Hand off to Tony Carter, who tries to sledgehammer his way up the middle and picks up 3 into the teeth of the New Orleans defense. And during a break earlier, we said, you know, New England's got this game right in their grasp. Now it's debatable.
Well, this is the way the Saints have been winning right here. They have been just clawing their way, fighting. As Mike Ditka used, I want guys that are tough guys that'll just fight you. And that's what they do. They don't outman the New England Patriots personnel-wise right now, today, this afternoon. But they're going to fight hard, and they're going to make those kind of plays to stay in it.
2nd down, 7 from the 36. Hand off Edwards, huge hole. He's in the secondary and past midfield before Rob Kelly stops him. A slashing pickup of 14.
Now, this is what you'd hope the New England Patriots, as a team that is sure of themselves, would do right here. A little bit of a lead draw coming right up the middle. Stay with the running game. You're down 7-3. Just stick with your game plan. Don't try to do something different because a quick score was scored against you.
Max Lane made a great block, which lets Edwards run free. Good numbers today for Edwards. Now it's from the 50, 1st and 10. And off to Edwards again. Ran into his own blocker that time. That was the tight end Lovett Purnell, and Rob Kelly again makes the grab. A gain of perhaps 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
You notice how many times we were talking about Rob Kelly, who is a free safety up around the ball, making tackles not in the backfield but up around the ball. Mike Ditka told me last night, he said, you know, people aren't intimidated by the Bear defense anymore. What they are, they've got answers for that. So you have to come up with different wrinkles. And one of the wrinkles is you're not in a true Bear with all the blocking problems, but you bring that safety up to be the extra guy around the ball.
2nd down and 7. Bledsoe hit by Martin. Ball is free and intercepted. Leroy Glover intercepts Bledsoe. The 3rd New England turnover. The 2nd interception by Bledsoe.
Right here, you're going to see this right here is Wayne Martin. Look at him come up the field. He gets his arm. It's a forward pass. That's an interception. Right down at the bottom of the screen, Leroy Glover.
Today is Mike Ditka's 200th game as an NFL head coach. And 16 years ago in the Silverdome up in Pontiac, Michigan, his Bears were taking on the Detroit Lions.
What famous actor does he remind you of?
He looks like Burt Reynolds.
Absolutely. Going into, got to be a movie coming up.
He's changed. The game has changed. And his Saints are changing this game with a couple of opportunistic plays on defense and offense, and a -3 for Lamar Smith. Henry Thomas shot through with great penetration.
As you look to wins 150, 100. This one, of course, came during the Super Bowl year. And he's looking at wondering what this is going to be. He's off to a tremendous start here in 1998.
He was calm yesterday when we saw him.
Well, he is. You know, he's had both hips replaced. He's a guy that loves to play golf and runs every morning in his bare feet, just shuffles along, trying to get that exercise. He's a tough guy, and his team reflects it.
2nd down, 13. They bring the blitz, picked up by Zellers, but boy, they just cave in on young Danny Wuerffel. Ted Johnson smothers him the 2nd time that the Patriot defense has sacked the Saint quarterback this afternoon.
And Ted Johnson, there he is, right. He's coming right up the chute, right up the middle. He gets blocked, but he doesn't quit. He told us last night, he said, we love the blitz. The danger in the blitz is you're all flowing in one line. So if a ball carrier runs by you, there's nobody to make the tackle, and you give up big gains on the running game when you're in the pass blitz. That time, they guessed right. Wuerffel was back to throw, and Ted Johnson came in to say howdy.
And got his first sack of the year. And forces 3rd and 18. Wuerffel going deep, and that is intercepted by Ty Law on a pass intended for 6'5" Sean Dawkins. That's the first Saints turnover in a game filled with turnovers this afternoon.
Bill Parcells told Ty Law one time he thought he had marginal speed. He was certainly fast enough on that one.
It's a turnover. New Orleans gives it back to New England. Well, it's been a wild first half here in Louisiana. Ty Law just picked off Danny Wuerffel. That gives it back now to New England at their own 16. First down and 10. Blitz picked up. There's the quick throw, and it's caught on the side by Terry Glenn. Out of bounds, though. It was out of play. Coverage by Tyrone Drakeford. It'll be second down and 10.
Terry Glenn going in motion, just got a little wide this time, so he was so wide that when he catches the ball, look at his right foot. You can clearly see it. His foot is out of bounds. As we all know, in college, you only have to have one foot in bounds. Not in the pros, you have to have both of them down.
They've thrown to him 5 times. He has 2 catches, including a 43-yard reception earlier in this quarter. Second down and 10. Robert Edwards tries to skip and hurdle a defender, picking up 4. Leroy Glover makes the tackle.
It'll bring in the 3 or 4 wide receiver set. Let's see who they... New England sends in 2 of their wide receivers. Vincent Brisby and Troy Brown come in. So they'll have 4 wide receivers. Third down and 8. This is when the New Orleans Saints likes to bring the house.
Yeah, they will blitz.
They'll blitz you in a heartbeat. They got both their linebackers in the ballgame.
On 3rd and 7, here they come up the middle, but the pass dumped off to Derek Cullors, and Cullors slithers free and breaks tackles, and there he goes. He's being chased, and from behind brought down by Chris Hewitt. What a run by Cullors. A pickup of 43.
Derek Cullors can stop and start on a dime. He can stop and start as good as anybody other than maybe Barry Sanders. Look at the screen. Now they think they're getting in here, but they're allowing them to come in. The Patriots are. Then the run starts. All of this is individual effort. Good hit, keeps his feet. Avoids one, makes one more miss now. Protect the ball. He's going to try to strip you right here. Boom. He holds on to it.
And Wuerffel made a crushing block up front. Cullors is out. A 43-yard gain, his career long. From the 38 of New Orleans, 1st and 10. Short drop by Bledsoe, and throws a pass. A spinning catch made by Terry Glenn. 16-yard gain to the 23 and a first down.
You know, as you watch the game, you clearly get the feeling that the Patriots have the better team. But the New Orleans Saints just aren't going to let you have the victory. They're going to fight you. They're going to hit you like that, like Rob Kelly just did. He's been doing that around the line of scrimmage this time. He comes out of the secondary to do it. But they're going to keep fighting and clawing. If you're going to put this Saint team away, you better do it for real.
Bledsoe told us last night he has more quality options than ever before in this offense.
I agree with him, too.
First down and 10. Delayed handoff. Edwards, a block from Carter, and he dives ahead to the 18-yard line with the gain of 5 on first down. And at the bottom of the pile, Ink Aliaga.
Yeah, Ink Aliaga, of course, first start there in the middle. He's got it wearing a wristband so that he can make the calls during the ball game. And look at him on the sideline now. Now he brings a call inside.
I talked to Zaven Yaralian on the sideline. He said now that they've got this system of the plays, and you see him there in the middle of your screen written on that wristband, because the Colts were getting the signals and deciphering them last week. Second down, long 5, and a run by Robert Edwards and tackled by Tyrone Drakeford. And he's got a first down to the 10 on a gain of 8.
Well, you know, the way that wristband thing works, he just got everything's listed. So all he has to signal is number 3. Then he looks down and sees what number 3 is. Generally, they'll have one for the first half and one for the second half, so that the numbers are changed just in case they start to pick up on it. There's the wristband. Defensive coordinator makes the call, calls a bunch of phony calls, just like a third base coach. Some of them are real, some of them aren't. And sticks up X number of fingers, and that's the defense.
They can make a first down, so it's 1st and 10 just outside the Saints 10. Block, a great one from Armstrong, and a 5-yard pickup by Robert Edwards before he's tackled again by Rob Kelly, who has got to be in double digits in tackles already.
Rob Kelly is all over the place, and he's not blitzing now. He's just playing the run. Now watch Kelly. Look at the eyes go forward for 2 steps for Drew Bledsoe. That sets up the pass look, and then right up the chute, Chad Cota right there too. Both safeties in on that play. That was a good block by Bruce Armstrong, the left tackle for the Patriots that time. The offensive line of this Patriot team is solid.
He turned 33 on opening day. 2nd down and 5. Bledsoe sprints out of the pocket, slings a pass into the end zone, touchdown. Caught by Vincent Brisby.
Now Terry Glenn's going to come in short motion from the outside and then bend back to the out. Brisby goes into the end zone, slides to get open. Look at Drew Bledsoe. He's looking right, and then eyes come back to the inside, holding the ball. Keep it alive, keep it alive, keep it alive till the slide by Brisby and the touchdown.
Vinatieri on the Tom Tupa hold will try to tag on one more now as the New England Patriots are on top. On that drive, culminating on a touchdown pass to Bledsoe, a 43-yard run by Derek Cullers. Patriots by 3. Vincent Brisby makes the touchdown reception. That's his 2nd of the season. Caught it from 6 yards away, and that possession for the Patriots set up on a Ty Law interception, so they cash in. New Orleans has bit New England back on top by 3.
Turnovers have affected both sides of the ball. I tell you, Vincent Brisby's catch on that last one, Tyrone Drakeford was all over him. I think he got a hand on the ball. It was just concentration, keeping that hand and eye coordination working for Vincent Brisby for the touchdown. He was the secondary receiver on that one. The first receiver was Terry Glenn. He was covered.
Bledsoe on that drive, 3 of 3, 64 yards. He also threw a 16-yard strike to Glenn. Already has caught a pass, Terry has, for 43 earlier in the game. And the kickoff by Vinatieri. And Qadre Ismail, yard deep in the end zone, is whacked and taken down by Chris Floyd, a rookie running back out of Michigan. How does New Orleans respond now from their 15-yard line? 1st down and 10 yards to go, trailing by 3.
Well, that time they could have had a better return. That was running to darkness. Right into Chris Floyd.
Here comes the handoff. Lamar Smith. Tackle made by Chris Slade. No gain. Loss of a yard.
Danny Wuerffel, he told us last night, he said, you know, I'd like to play for a coach that expects perfection rather than one that just accepts mediocrity. He did, of course, with Steve Spurrier and now with Mike Ditka. And what happens is a player like that who believes that's the only way to play, it's contagious in that huddle. He's the only guy doing the talking in that huddle. And if he feels that way, it comes across, the rest of the team plays better.
And he's a starter because on opening day, Billy Joe Hobart was knocked out with an Achilles. And on 2nd down and 11, he throws a pass caught by the rookie tight end Cameron Cleveland. Gain of 3. Let's go to Jim Nantz at our CBS studios in New York.
All right, Kev, watch Vinny Testaverde now. He got the start today over Glenn Foley. And Testaverde to the end zone. Keyshawn pulls it down. And the Jets lead 7-3 2nd quarter, and they're driving again. Let's go back to you.
You know, I had Vinny Testaverde in Tampa, and in terms of being a pure passer, I think he's the prettiest one I've been around. He's standing out there. He's got all the shots. He's a weight room guy. Big, tall, strong arm.
3rd down and 8 from the 17. Wuerffel got a block from Rolfe, but he's caved in on and brought down, sacked for a 3rd time. Chris Slade did the decking.
Well, the Saints are going to have to get Danny Wuerffel out of the pocket. They can't let him keep doing this. He's getting killed inside. Protection is just marginal. It's holding up long enough for the quick throw, but not for when he has to go to an alternate receiver. Chris Slade is just all over him. If they can move him out of the pocket on every down, not just on the third down passing, but on 1st and 2nd down as well. Give him a chance to get those quick little throws where even if they do blitz, they can't get to you.
Royals will punt again, and the returns have been very quality returns. It's blocked. It's deflected, landing at the 18, and picked up at the 26. Larry Wiggum, a Pro Bowler on special teams, had a hand on that ball, and that's why he's the best in the business.
And let me tell you, the Saints aren't the only guys that are to fight you and play tough. Nobody blocks it. The scheme set it up so that everyone was pointing. You know, in special teams, everybody points out a guy. Well, nobody took number 25, Larry Wiggum. He comes flying through. I don't think the punter ever sees this. When the Royals is generally you get a peek when somebody comes clean like that. I think he thought everyone was picked up. Tremendous play. That's scheme right there. Of course, it's effort by Wingham, but that scheme that gets him free loose like that.
Cedric Shaw is in the backfield, 1st and 10. Bledsoe throws, caught by Coates, hurdles a defender at the 11. He tumbles to the 8. Tackled by Ingaliaga on a great pickup of 18.
Ben Coates is back, in case you haven't been paying attention.
He's great.
He's a terrific player to begin with, but he's a guy that needed this. So he's just going to go up into the outside right here. Bledsoe is looking for him all the way. You saw that in the flat there was the running back Carter, who controlled the flare underneath. Coverage was left wide open behind for Coates.
18-yard pickup, 1st and goal. Patriots at the Saints 8. Edwards back in. He'll get the call. Goes the other way from the Carter block, and he goes in for the touchdown. Escorted by Bruce Armstrong.
Let me tell you, Robert Edwards is getting better every time he runs the ball. He's getting more positive with his decisions. Doesn't hesitate. Explodes through that line. Shoulders low. And the reach for the touchdown.
Robert Edwards has scored a touchdown in every game he has played in the NFL.
And only Joe Cribbs of the Redskins have scored 4, and now he's been matched by Robert Edwards.
Vinatieri puts it through. Robert Edwards and the New England Patriots rolling over New Orleans 17-7. So all-pro Larry Wingham deflects a Mark Royals punt. New England takes over at the 26, and they get it in a couple plays later.
And I tell you, if you look around the league right now, the Miami Dolphins, I wasn't sure they did enough in the offseason to go 3-0, but they are doing it. The New Orleans Saints, of course, we're watching a surprise team. They're down right now, but they're playing hard. The Seahawks, I felt like they were going to be a good football team. And the Atlanta Falcons, you couldn't be happier for Dan Reeves and the way they've worked. They've been getting better and better. At the end of the season last year, remember, they were winning just like the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints were.
With Chandler as their quarterback.
That's right.
Kickoff by Vinatieri. Ismail this time will leave it in the end zone 5 yards deep. What about your disappointments?
Well, there's always some of those. The Redskins, of course, they thought they were going to be contending for the division. Tampa Bay Bucks, I don't know what's happened to my Bucks right there, but I think they will rebound. The Cincinnati Bengals, no explanation. They're going to bye week, and they need it. The New York Jets, they'll rebound as well.
Buccaneers will play the New York Giants later today. So the Saints take over at the 20-yard line, 1st down and 10, trailing by 10 with 2.5 to play in the half. R. Smith and Ray Zellers in the out. Play fake by Wuerffel, and dumps it off in the flat. Caught by Lamar Smith. He's got a 1st down. And still on his feet, a gain of 17 up to the 37.
Going into that play, the Saints had only run 18 plays in this ballgame for 25 yards, so they pick up 17 on that one. But it's the alternate throw, the short throw, the high percentage throw, a token fake to hold the linebackers. Still got to move within the pocket and then find somebody short. Now run straight up the field. Don't be dodging anybody. Good balance right there, just getting a few more after he was hit.
Andy McCullum is the center. Jerry Fontenot, the starter, out early with a sprained knee, will not return. 37. Handoff goes to Lamar Smith and gobbled up by Brandon Mitchell, who's backing up Chris Sullivan, who's starting today for the injured Fair Colts. We've reached the 2-minute warning. What fireworks in the first half in Louisiana? It's New England by 10. CBS.sportsline.com.
Everything you want right there, let me tell you. I look at that one every day, getting ready for these games.
2nd down 9. That almost picked off on a quick slant pattern. Ty Law was covering Sean Dawkins.
You know, I'm very surprised that they have gone at Ty Law more than Chris Canty. We thought they would take on Chris Canty. He's the younger and the less effective corner. Up to this point, though, going into that play, New England has had the ball almost twice as much, 18.5 minutes to the 9.5 minutes for the New Orleans Saints. If you don't have the ball, you're not going to score as many points. Of course, the only touchdown they scored was on the fumble recovery and run in as a fumble by Drew Bledsoe.
Saints 2 of 6 on third downs today. They face 3rd and 9 here from the 38, and they blow that dead. There was plenty of time on the clock. It was down to 3 seconds.
I think Clarence Jones flinched. At least that's what the New England Patriots are petitioning.
False start. Offense. Penalties. Third down.
Number 74, that's Clarence Jones. Remember, all week long he stayed out of most of the practice because of a sore right ankle. They had everybody kind of moved around. Kyle Turley, the left guard, had moved over and practiced at right tackle. Andy McCullum at left guard. So they have had to play this ball game without Clarence having his usual practice snaps.
7 defensive backs for New England. 3rd down and 14. Wuerffel is set. Flips it off on a screen pass, which is caught by Lamar Smith, and he gets the first down, crossing midfield to the New England 46. Teddy Bruschi makes the tackle. It's a gain of 21 on 3rd and 14.
Good. Now the quarterback's looking straight down the field, baiting everybody in. Now watch number 67, Andy McCullum, right there. Look at that block. Bam! That frees him loose. All the way down to where Chris Carter gets a grab. Then finishing up is Bruschi. I love the name, Teddy Bruschi.
Smith on this drive has caught passes for 17 and 21 yards. On the Patriot 46. And a pass, and the tight end Cleveland did not spin around his helmet in time. Incomplete. Bruschi followed him out in the flat. Coming up on the NASDAQ halftime, join Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and of course the coach George Seifert for all the scores and highlights, plus a look at what's so special about the kick and punt returns this year. All coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report from New York.
And the Patriots on the last play blitzed the safety. The hot read was the quick throw to Cam Cleveland. Cleveland didn't recognize the blitz. Wuerffel did. Of course, Cleveland didn't get much of a look at the ball, and it fell incomplete.
Saints working with a couple of timeouts. 2nd down 10. And Wuerffel slings a pass downfield. It's caught by Andre Hastings. A first down to the New England 34. A gain of 13. Lawyer Malloy makes the tackle.
Inside 1 minute now to the half. Important that the Saints get down here and get on the scoreboard before we go in. From the Saints standpoint, they're still going back to the huddle. They're not going to the line in a 2-minute situation. Now only 45 seconds left.
And 2 timeouts left on 1st and 10 from the 34. Wuerffel, good time, escapes on the run, has a first down at the 24. Willie Clay made the tackle. I may have, depends on the spot. They had to get to the 24. They mark him at the 25. He's a yard shy.
And big mistake by the Saints. They did not call timeout immediately. Wuerffel and everybody on the field should have been calling for the timeout as soon as the whistle blew. Protection holds up for the moment. Coverage sacked. Escape by Wuerffel. Now straight up the field. Now Danny, as soon as you go down, come up with the timeout signal. Right now, come up. As you see, he's just unaware of the fact that he needs to call timeout. Young quarterback, that'll come.
2nd down 1 from the 25. Wuerffel throws wide open. He's got a receiver at the 1, at the goal line. He's short. What a catch made by Andre Hastings, a pickup of 23. What a pass by Wuerffel.
Beautiful play, catch and throw, but Danny Wuerffel makes a mistake by not getting to that timeout as soon as he could have. Right down the middle, you see he's got a little zone in here. He finds the seam between the zone, reaches for that ball. He's down just short of the goal line. The ball has to cross the goal line before any part of the body does. But then Danny Wuerffel came running down the field trying to find official. Just turned to the referee. He's always going to be standing right beside you and call timeout. They lost probably 5 or 6 seconds on that one, 5 or 6 on the previous play, down to 21.
What's Ditka telling him there?
Well, number one, he's telling him, let's see, do they have another timeout?
No,
they do not have another. That's the important thing. He said, if you cannot find the receiver here, I'm assuming they're going to throw this one. If you can't find the receiver, throw the ball away quickly. If they run it, he's telling him to call 2 plays in the huddle, reassemble quickly, and get the second run off or ground the ball.
Troy Davis, the running back. 3 tight ends, 9th play of the drive. Quarterback keeper Wuerffel. And he didn't get in.
Oh, and they got a pile up too. Now
the clock is running.
They've got to stand up and ground the ball.
The clock is running. You see it in the corner.
They still have time to ground it. They still have time. Just ground the ball. There you go.
4 seconds left. That did not work out well.
No.
That did not work out well.
And the fans are letting their hero, Mike Ditka, know it right now.
Well, whose fault is it? Is it Ditka? Is it the quarterback? Whose fault was it?
Danny Abramowitz is the offensive coordinator. Mike Ditka's involved. I'm not sure who made the initial call. They all get together and decide on it. But as you see, there's just more movement by the New England Patriots. Look at the flow going in the wrong direction from the Saints standpoint. The problem with this kind of play is you've got a giant pileup. It takes a long time to unpile. It's Danny Abramowitz, former receiver here. He's the offensive coordinator.
They're going to go for it on 3rd and goal with 3 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, I think they have to. I don't think they're going to be beating this team with field goals. They know that the New England Patriots are a scoring machine.
So you like this call?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it's a call that can cost you the ball game. It's an easy one to second guess if you don't score. But if you get 3 points right here, the only time they move the ball offensively is this drive. Their other score came on a defensive play.
And you would go for the touchdown?
I'd go for the touchdown right now, right here. Exactly what Mike is doing. Now, he's going to get over there and change his mind if he has too much time to think about it.
All right, now we know you're going to go for it. What kind of play would you run?
Move Wuerffel to his right. That's where he's had his success throwing. New England's going to know it's going to the right. I wouldn't drop him straight back. I'd roll him to his right on a little pick play or a little option throw where you've got somebody in the flat quick and you got somebody else working the end zone.
Why not having him go straight back in the pocket?
Well, he hadn't had success today. Now, remember, he's been sacked back there. That's where he's had to scramble. They're going to be coming after him. And Wuerffel is a right-handed quarterback. He's thrown better to his right in this game. Go to his strength today.
They've got 4 receivers deployed. 3rd down goal at the 1. 3 seconds, no timeouts left in the half.
They're going to go to his left.
Wuerffel throwing, touchdown! The tight end, Cameron Cleveland. What a gamble. What a payoff.
And do I have egg on my face? Cam Cleveland, who caught the winning touchdown last week, right in the middle. Quick inside release. Trying to strip him loose as Lawyer Malloy can't quite get it done. And they did the unexpected. I really think that the New England Patriots expected a moving pocket.
That is one of the gutsiest calls you're going to see. The extra point is there. We are at halftime. That's the end of the first half with the score. New England 17, New Orleans 14. Stay tuned for all the scores and highlights on the NASDAQ halftime report after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ Halftime Report is sponsored by the NASDAQ Stock Market.
And we welcome you back to the CBS Broadcast Center in New York for the NASDAQ Halftime Report. Jim Nantz with you. And how about the Saints and Mike Ditka going for it on the last play of the half, resulting in a touchdown pass by Danny Wuerffel. Marcus here along with Brent and the coach George Seifert. And what about that call there by Ditka, huh?
Well, no guts, no glory. Mike Ditka played that way, and he wants his team to play the same way. I'm sure they're excited about their play. They forced some turnovers, 3 turnovers. The first time New England had turnovers this year.
And George, you said they had to go for it before they even did it.
Yeah, when they're in that position and against a team such as New England, you get an opportunity, you go for it.
All right, elsewhere in the NFL today, Miami and the Jets, 2 seconds remaining in the first half there. And the Jets have just added a field goal to go up 7. Dolphins struck first with a field goal. Jimmy Johnson's team went 7 quarters in all without allowing a point. And then finally, the Jets were able to catch up to him. Here's Vinny Testaverde, who got to start today. And Keith Byers broke Marcus's record now for receptions by a running back.
Well-deserved effort. Great guy. Great opportunity for him. It's good for him. Headed to Keyshawn Johnson coming back. A lot of trash talk before the game with the cornerbacks, and Keyshawn Johnson comes out on top.
Dan Marino so far has thrown for only 30 yards. 49ers and the Bills, a shocker. The Bills taking advantage of 3 San Francisco turnovers, and Wade Phillips looking for his first Buffalo win, and what a win it would be. San Diego and Indianapolis. San Diego with only 4 touchdowns in 4.5 games now. They've kicked 2 field goals today. Leaf and Manning squaring off. And here's Ryan Leaf. What's he thinking about here, George, in the triple?
I don't know. He kind of pass gets away from him. He doesn't see the under coverage at all. Alexander picks him off. Both quarterbacks have been victimized and picked off. Now, here's a heck of a play, though, as far as the the Indianapolis Colts are concerned, Marshall Faulk wide open after faking the reverse. You think of anybody, they'd watch Marshall Faulk.
And they got a two-point conversion on a swinging gate play. Colts lead by 5. Cowboys and Redskins. Jason Garrett 9 of 10 and a touchdown for the Cowboys. Lions and the Bears. And just 14 seconds to go in the half there. 98-yard touchdown, by the way, by the Lions' Johnny Morton. And Carolina and Atlanta, the Falcons open the game with a kickoff return for a touchdown by Tim Dwight. The Falcons lead. They've already beaten them week 1 this season. All right, talking about returns, we'll continue with more here on the NASDAQ Halftime Report. Here's the pass to Brisbee, and the Patriots lead by 3 at halftime. We'll be right back.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ Halftime Report is sponsored by the NASDAQ Stock Market.
Welcome back to our studios here in New York and the NASDAQ Halftime Report. Now, going into week 5 of the season, the special teams have provided some special moments. After 4 weeks of play, 8 punts and 6 kickoff returns have been taken back for touchdowns. That's a record since the league went to a 16-game schedule back in 1978.
It can be the most exciting part of the game and the turning point in any NFL matchup, the return.
If you can get your return game going, you can certainly set the table for your offense.
Jermaine Lewis from about the 14. Goes to his right, gets a big block, 15, 20, 25, 30. Got a blocker, 40. Up the sideline, he is gone! Jermaine Lewis, 20, 10, 5, touchdown!
First thing, you want to make sure you catch the ball.
Into the end zone, fair, coming out.
Then after that, first thing I do is take a peek and see where my most dangerous threat is coming towards me.
25, 30, 35 left side, 40.
From then on, just trying to find a little hole or a crease and just reading my blocker's block.
35, 30, Derry Fair's going to score! Touchdown, Lions!
You line up, you have a plan, and you try to get 10 guys around somebody like this, like Dion, because every time they know that the ball's kicked to them, they know we have a possibility.
I don't catch the punt and try to get 10 yards. Every time we catch a punt, we're trying to score. So sometimes I would run backwards and lose yards trying to make a big play.
Slices back left to the 30. A foot race to the 20. Say touchdown, Deion Sanders.
For the record, since entering the league in 1976, Tampa Bay has returned 1,340 kickoffs, but not a single one for a touchdown. Now, Marcus, I've got to know, how come we never saw you playing special teams? You caught the ball, you ran with it, did all this, but you never returned kicks or punts.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret, buddy.
Okay.
I wasn't man enough to do it.
Well, we knew
I'll let
that.
you guys know now. The Raiders put me back there, when I was a rookie while at practice and stuff, and I was back there returning kicks and dropped every single one. And because I wasn't man enough to do it, the only person I told that, guys, I'm coming clean now, is my mom. So
you dropped it on purpose?
Yeah, I'm exposed.
No way.
The best pass receiver ever out of the backfield.
That's my image.
Not man enough. All right, the NFL on CBS will continue in just a moment.
Welcome back to the Louisiana Superdome, where the New Orleans Saints are trailing the New England Patriots 17-14. What a first half. The Saints came in along with New England as two of the best teams, not turning the ball over, but we've had all kinds of first half turnovers. Here's the first score. A big one it is by the New Orleans Saints.
A little bit of a dispute about whether he was down, at least from the New England standpoint. Then Keith Mitchell picks it up, runs untouched all the way into the end zone. Turnovers played such a big role in this particular ball game. Then rolling to his right, Drew Bledsoe. Going to find in the corner Vincent Brisby on a beautiful slide to get open. Secondary receiver. Once again, Robert Edwards finds his 4th touchdown in 4 ball games this season to tie a record. The future running back hopes for them. And then Cam Cleland, who caught the winning touchdown in overtime last week on a little quick throw from Danny Wuerffel for the momentum-changing touchdown right at the end of the half. And we are ready to go for the second. Can you take the second half?
I don't know. I mean, this is somewhat of a surprise because New England came in having not turned the ball over one time the entire season, and they've already got 3 turnovers in this game. And New Orleans, here's a team which has thrived on taking advantage of other teams' turnovers. They've done that, but they've made some gaffes of their own, and yet they are still down by just 3 points.
And you see the total yard. I mean, there's a reason that that the New England Patriots are ahead at all, is that they have actually, if you start to break it down, they've dominated parts of this game, but the New England Patriots have just not given an inch. The big play, of course, ending in the long touchdown run with Keith Mitchell on defense for the Saints has helped. But that last drive, spearheaded by Danny Wuerffel at the end of the ball game, you talk about giving yourself lots to do and think about it, and extra adrenaline coming out in the second half. That's what they did for the Saints.
When you scored with your Buccaneers or your Cincinnati Bengals before halftime, what was the effect in the locker room and coming out in the third quarter? And of course, the opening minutes of the second half sometimes can decide a ball game.
Well, you know the difference between how you feel on a cloudy day and a sunny day? Yeah. It's very much the same thing. Yeah. It's a big difference. And your team goes in and they all know that they can accomplish something. They're not going in with a negative thought. They're going in with a positive attitude. And they come back out the same way.
So Mike Ditka gambles, and here's Adam Vinatieri to kick off the second half from the Louisiana Superdome. Of course, the last time the New England Patriots were here, the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers a couple years ago.
And there are a lot of guys with some memories that aren't as pleasant as they'd like for them to be. I'd like to rewrite that story this afternoon. But they're in for a battle here. Both teams playing at the top of their game.
Second half is underway. Qadry Ismail from the 2-yard line for the New Orleans Saints. And gets by the first wave, then is tackled on the play by Steve Lofton. So from the 16-yard line, Danny Wuerffel and the Saints will have it. They come in unbeaten at 3-0, and New England comes in at 2-1.
And we're going to see the New England Patriots continue what they did in the first half, because other than that last drive, they really have had a lot of success with their defensive scheme, and that is bringing a safety. Safeties will wait until the quarterback gets into his cadence, and then one of the safeties will come up guessing as to which direction they're going.
First and 10, draw play, handoff, Ray Zellers. Gain of 1. Second down and 9. Henry Thomas off the bottom of the pile.
And my guess is that Mike Ditka and the New Orleans coaches wanted to come out here and settle everything down just a little bit, make sure that there was no chance of a big mistake early to lose the momentum they had going in at halftime. A little shot up the middle. If they pass this time, watch for it to be a quick throw. And they're in the shotgun, and 9 times out of 10, that means pass.
Second down and 9. Flips it out a little bit high and incomplete for fullback Ray Zellers. Quarterback's fault or the receiver's fault?
Well, it's a hard angle. That's not an easy throw because the ball carrier is moving away from you and then he's turning upfield. And if the timing's not right, if the ball's not thrown as he starts his turn upfield, you get that ball thrown behind, and that's what happens. I think, you know, it's a little bit of nobody's at fault. It just is something that happens after many throws on the practice field, and you get the timing right, you get the look right, quarterback senses when that turn up the field is going to happen.
Let's see how Wuerffel's senses are on third down and 9 on the 18-yard line. Across the middle, caught by the tight end Cleveland. He's got a first down out to the 30-yard line. A gain of 12. Bruschi makes the tackle, and that is his 5th catch today, 3rd on third down.
If it wasn't the same throw, it was very close to it. Cam Cleveland comes from the right side. The mistake that the Patriots are making, they made it on the last play of the first half, and on this one, Teddy Bruschi makes it this time, is that they're allowing Cam Cleveland to get the inside release. You've got to force him to go outside and take away that quick short throw.
Now with some breathing space at their 30, first down and 10 yards to go. Play action. Slade is there, as is McGinnis, and they put the pressure on the quarterback, and McGinnis came in and decked Wuerffel on a pass intended downfield for Sean Dawkins.
Well, the Saints went back to holding the ball just a little bit longer, and you get a guy like Willie McGinnis, who is so quick coming up the field. He gets what they call on the edge. He gets just on the outside shoulder of that offensive tackle that's trying to block him, and once that tackle's shoulders start to turn, McGinnis is way too fast, and he explodes to the quarterback, causes really what was just a throwaway throw.
And he's going up against an all-pro player in Willie Rolfe.
Even all pros are in trouble when they get on that outside shoulder.
Second down 10. Blitz. Slade was there. It's intercepted. It's picked off on the play by Henry Thomas. Breaking tackles. Another one. Touchdown.
Mike Ditka is saying to himself, you know that old deal about things even out. The screen pass ready to come up. Just in the right place at the right time. Henry Thomas, I think, sensed the screen coming. Then he runs like a big bruising fullback into the end zone. Thomas alternates with Brandon Mitchell a lot at that spot to stay fresh. He certainly looked fresh then.
Extra point by Vinatieri. The second career interception by Henry Thomas. This time for a touchdown. Pete Carroll's got to be feeling pretty good about his New England Patriots. His defensive tackle just intercepted a ball. Henry Thomas ran it in for a touchdown. 24-14 New England. The ensuing kickoff, Qadri Ismail. Tackled by Chris Carter, the safety. Out to the 35, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Wuerffel, who just threw the pick.
You know, Pete Carroll is a defensive coach by trade. He was a defensive coordinator with the 49ers before he went to New England, and he a former head coach of the New York Jets for a short period of time. But he trains his guys to do what defensive coordinators want, and that is to create turnovers, fumble recoveries in the strips, looking for balls like that that come. Well, look what I found catches. Danny Wuerffel now just got to regroup himself.
On the 34, 1st and 10. Wide down Sullivan. Another fumble. It's loose. Zeller's chasing it. Still loose. Slater's there. They call it incomplete. They call it an incomplete pass.
It was a forward pass, too. As you watch Danny Wuerffel, he's going to scramble back to his left side now. Tom Barnes, the referee on the sideline, is all over it, the side judge. He pushed the ball forward. You do not have to forward. Now look at number 55. Tom Barnes, the official, he says immediately incomplete pass.
That could have been intentional grounding as well, because it was obvious he was going down. He threw it away to get by the sack.
But there was a receiver just in front of him, so it was headed towards somebody, just didn't get it there.
He was between the tight ends, and that's what the referees and officials look for. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the rush. Sullivan can't get it. Wuerffel, a pass caught by the tight end. Cleveland again. A 1st down to the 46-yard line, and pick up a 12. Tackle made by Lawyer Malloy. Cleveland wobbles as he gets up.
The protection is just not holding up very long for Danny Wuerffel, but he keeps going to Cam Cleveland, much like Drew Bledsoe goes to Ben Coates, the clutch go-to guy. Scrambles away from this one, Wuerffel does. That's a hard throw. Throwing back across your body. Your shoulders are square to the left. You got to open them up to throw to the right. And then, of course, the presence to get the 1st down.
1st and 10, handoff, Lamar Smith. Stacked up, brought down, Chris Sullivan there. Smith made headlines in December of '94 while with Seattle. He and 2 other Seahawks were in a car accident. One of the passengers, Mike Fryer, severely injured, now a quadriplegic. Smith was the driver, charged with vehicular assault. Served some time, and part of the settlement, Sam, half of Smith's salary goes to Fryer. They remain friends and still speak on occasion to this day.
Well, he's playing football hard. You know, Mike Ditka said he comes in, he does his job here. That was an unfortunate incident in his life. He's paying for it. We'll pay for it.
Replay, 2nd down.
And we'll pay for it for a long time. I missed the penalty there. What was that one, Kevin? 5 yards for delay a game. That was a signal, it looked like.
They had an illegal substitution. They had 12 players in the huddle. A brand new rule this year instituted by the NFL. You've got to have only 11 in the huddle. You can't be playing the mind games and going back and forth shuttling players.
Even if it's a mistake, you're going to get penalized.
2nd and 16. Good time for Wuerffel. Downfield, he's got a receiver. Caught by Brett Besh. just his second catch all season. He played at nearby LSU. He's got a huge gain of 33 to the Patriot 27.
Brett Betch is usually the third receiver be coming out of the slot. He just kind of goes right down the middle, and you'll see that the safeties disappeared out of our picture right there because they had double coverage. That left the middle open. Underneath trying to cover is Chris Canty, who was in that nickel defense trying to cover one-on-one or running deep down the middle. Beautiful play. That's a nice throw, and that's what Danny Wuerffel can do. He can put the touch on the ball, leave it in the air, and drop it over a defender's head.
From the Patriot 27, 1st and 10. The pass again, down the middle, incomplete for Tony Johnson, a backup tight end. Lawyer Malloy was covering that time. They've been going at Malloy.
They're going at both the safeties there. And that time, Lawyer Malloy got up celebrating a little bit too quick right there. Sometimes you see, you feel like you may have been involved in a penalty. You get up and celebrate to hopefully convince the official that you did something good rather than something illegal. I'm not sure they're buying that very often.
They usually don't.
Never. Actually, so that's the total number is 0. That's what they buy.
2nd down and 10. Wuerffel throws a pass, which is caught. Sean Dawkins, who came as a big-time free agent from the Colts, makes his first catch today. It's good for 11, tackled by Teddy Bruschi. Another New Orleans first down.
And they went after Ty Law initially, and he missed the tackle. Bruschi came in to clean it up. But we thought they'd be going after Chris Canty. They'd be going after Ty Law and the safeties. Comes back to the ball. The key to that whole play is the receiver can't wait on the ball. He came back to it. You know, both those, the defender and the receiver, see the ball in flight at the same instant. If the receiver comes back and boxes out the defender, you get that completion.
1st and 10, handoff to Smith. A block by Craver, and Smith with a mammoth hole to the 6. Another first down, a pickup of 11. Lawyer Malloy, the tackle.
Good blocking up front initially right here, but look at this block right there. Seal him off. Right up the chute. Aaron Craver, who was banged up on the very first play of the ball game, obviously healthy and ready to go now.
1st and goal from the 6. 8th play of the New Orleans drive. Bash is in motion. Lamar Smith to the 3. Gain of 2. Ted Johnson, the tackle.
Right down here in the same area that right before the half, the drive ended, we heard the old boo ray we've talked about before. You know, they ran the quarterback sneak. It didn't work. Everybody booed. On the next play they scored. It was boo ray. I think they're raying more for Mike Ditka and Danny Wuerffel and the New Orleans Saints now than they're booing. 3 wins over teams that have a combined record of 1-10, but they're going against one of the top teams in the National Football League this afternoon.
2nd down, goal from the 3. Wuerffel hit as he throws by Thomas, and the pass is high. Thomas got a whack on him, and there you see the result. Looking for Sean Dawkins, incomplete.
Wuerffel gets hit. Willie Clay falls down, had the receiver, but the hit causes the ball to go high. Just as he lets the ball go, I think he feels it. Actually, I don't know that that hit did cause it unless he could sense it coming.
On a short-armed look.
He did. That was Henry Thomas, who scored the last touchdown in this ball game, by the way, on an interception run back. He will have that one reproduced and will be part of his Christmas giving. I will tell you, that's what will happen with Henry Thomas.
It should. 3rd and goal from the 3. Smith, the lone back. Wuerffel to the air. Incomplete. No flags. He was looking for Dawkins, covered by Ty Law. They'll try for 3 and try to tie it or get close. They're down by 10, 24-14.
Ty Law plays tough, aggressive defense. He's around that receiver all the time. And as the fans watched that one, they thought he might have been a little too aggressive that time. But, you know, if you play aggressively all the time, the officials get used to that kind of play. The Oakland Raiders and LA Raiders for years used to play that way, thinking that they would get away with 1 or 2 a ball game that maybe another team wouldn't.
Doug Bryan's been great inside 40 yards. This from 22, and he pulls the Saints to within a 24-17 reach of the New England Patriots from the Louisiana Superdome. We're in the middle 3rd quarter. Back in the Superdome in New Orleans with Sam Wyche, Kevin Harlan, 24-14. Bledsoe has thrown a couple of interceptions. Henry Thomas, moments ago, picked off Wuerffel, ran it back 24 yards for a touchdown. We're at 24-17. New Orleans scored just as time was ticking off before the first half came to a close on a touchdown pass, made it tight, and Thomas gave him a little bit of a cushion.
And of course, Keith Mitchell had the defensive score for the Saints in the first half as well, so 2 defensive scores so far.
And New Orleans kicks off. Bryan gets it deep, taken at the 2-yard line by Chris Canty. And up near the 20 he goes. Tackled by Don Davis. Just shoving away from the ball, but it'll be Bledsoe and the Patriots at the 20.
And I'm guessing we're going to see things pick up right now in the physical category.
We're in the third quarter. (24-17) the New England Patriots lead the New Orleans Saints with Sam Wyche, Kevin Harlan. AFC again on top of another NFC team. We've seen this before.
Well, we have. You know, all the conversation about the Super Bowl is not won by the AFC, but in head-to-head competition, they've been quite good. And this year, the head-to-head competition shows that the AFC is way out in front of the NFC when they meet in interconference play.
So it's 1st and 10 for Bledsoe. Handoff, Robert Edwards chugging up the middle and picks up a quick gain of 5, tackled by defensive lineman Wayne Martin.
We're going to see this game now pick up in terms of these guys starting to hit. We almost had a little fisticuffs going on that kickoff just a moment ago. The ball clubs, both of them realized they're in for a real fight. New England, I think, at one point there probably felt like they were in command of this ball game, and then the fumble and touchdown by Keith Mitchell changed that around for them, and now it's back and forth.
2nd down, long 5, handoff for the 17th time to Robert Edwards. He's now got 84 yards today. Wayne Martin makes a 2nd consecutive tackle.
A solid defensive line for the New Orleans Saints. They're quick. They're not big guys. Leroy Glover told us yesterday when we were talking to him, he said, you know, he was the most valuable, one of the most valuable players in the World League for the Barcelona Dragons over there. The Oakland Raiders owned his rights. They didn't want him back because they didn't think he was big enough. The scheme over there is more of a 2-gap where you've got to take a guy on and you play the gap to the left or the right. Here in New Orleans, they're letting him slip into one gap or the other and use his quickness.
3rd down and 3. Across the middle, great catch, snared by Ben Coates. He's up to the 32. Tackle made by linebacker Mark Fields. That was a great catch. A pickup of 5 on 3rd and 3.
Shotgun. Bledsoe likes the shotgun. After he gets that ball, he feels like he's got a better view. Of course, with blocking like that, you've got a clean view everywhere. And Ben Coates has worked the middle very well. He's got a couple to the outside, but they haven't been able to stay with him with that big target in the middle.
They've thrown to him 6 times.
And 6 catches. Hasn't missed one.
1st and 10. They pick up the blitz from Mitchell. They throw a pass. Terry Glenn is off to the races. Glenn tackled by Chad Cota from behind at the 33-yard line of the Saints. A pickup of 35 on the heels of a 43-yard pickup he had in the first half.
He's going to get an inside release right here on Alex Molden. Now, when he breaks to the inside, there's nobody underneath. The linebackers aren't taking away those throwing lanes. It made for a clean throw. Ike Aliaga is replacing Kevin Mitchell, who was injured. No relation to Keith Mitchell, the other backer for the Saints. But there could be some mix-up there in the coverage, or at least there was nobody in between that throw. Big game for the New England Patriots.
Terry Glenn had a 100-yard day last game against Tennessee. He's got a 100-yard game going today. The handoff to Robert Edwards. He's looking at the century mark, picking up a yard there. Keith Mitchell makes the tackle.
The New Orleans Saints aren't going to get down off of a big play like that. We've seen this the entire ball game. Something good would happen for New England, and the Saints would just bow their necks. New England is one of the best teams in the NFL. Let's just start right there. So the Saints' big test of the year is coming this afternoon. I think they're standing up to it pretty well. Is Mike Ditka chewing on some gum right there, do you think? That man must go through a whole case of it right now.
2nd and 9. Flips it out through the hands of Tony Carter, who comes via the Chicago Bears as an unrestricted free agent. Incomplete pass. It'll be third down. Alex Molden was covering at the corner.
Just a little bit high and outside. Drew Bledsoe, the third leading 99. Really, you get up around 100, you got a chance to lead the conference by the end of the year. Elway at 115 is spectacular. Of course, Eric Zier hasn't played all the snaps this season, so his may move up or down yet.
This is an important stop for the New Orleans Saints. It's 3rd and 9. New England at the New Orleans 32. Here comes the blitz. Bledsoe is held, got the pass away, but incomplete. Rob Kelly came up the middle and was tangling with Bledsoe.
Well, let me tell you, they brought the house. Everybody was coming up the chute. Now look right up the middle. You're going to see 2 or 3 people, one more than they can block. Rob Kelly, who has been, and this is a safety, who plays like a linebacker. Ball is not a good snap from the center. Good bounce back up to Bledsoe, and that was a smart play because he had a receiver in the general area.
So the New Orleans defense bails out the team again. Vinatieri will try from 49 yards away, the hold by Tupa. And Adam Vinatieri puts it through. He and Tupa have had a terrific season. Tupa punting, Vinatieri kicking. He's already made a 52-yarder this season. That good from 49. And the Patriots go back up to a lead of 10. Louisiana Superdome. Patriots are coming off a bye and lead undefeated New Orleans by 10.
You never know whether you'll come off those with a little bit of a stale look. Ted Johnson said something that was interesting to me last night. When you come off of a bye, you haven't been going full speed for 2 weeks, and it takes a while to get used to it. They sped up pretty quick here.
Ismael on the Vinatieri kickoff. There goes a flag, another flag, and it's up to the 25-yard line on the kickoff return by New Orleans.
And that's holding in the open field. And you're going to get it every time.
I think it was Brady Smith on the special teams.
Well, it was flagrant, whatever. Let's see who the number is. There were 2 guys around the, let's see.
During the return of the kick, holding on the receiving team, number 91. Penalty of assessed half the distance to the goal. First down.
Brady Smith.
He just pulled the tackler down. Anytime you do that in the open field, you're going to get it. You know, I think that there's so many penalties thrown on punts and kickoffs that maybe there's some manipulating with the rules. They're liberalizing the rules a little bit to allow these plays to be more exciting, but on a play like that, you've got to call it.
So we're moving back 10 yards. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Wuerffel deep in his own zone. That ball was deflected and incomplete and almost picked off by Lawyer Malloy. Deflected by Mark Wheeler on the line.
Well, I tell you, that was going to Cam Cleveland. Again, the same throw they've scored on and completed a big first down on. Nobody covered Cam Cleveland coming off the ball. Had it not been deflected, big gain that time. I imagine that was more like a hot read, or if nobody covers you, I'm going to come to you quick. Otherwise, into something else developing downfield. But the New England Patriots saw the windup, got their hands up just like they practiced all during training camp at early part of the season. Incomplete.
Which brings up 2nd down and 10. Late in the 3rd quarter from New Orleans. Wuerffel has the receiver, and the gain to the 16 caught by a sliding Andre Hastings. A pickup of 6, setting up 3rd down and 3. 3rd down and 4. 4 receivers deployed. He's got a first down pass. Quick strike caught by Keith Poole. His 2nd catch of the year. 9-yard pickup, and Wuerffel has been very crafty on those passes today.
Well, he has, and the one thing that the New England Patriots have not done a very good job of, and that is boxing out, or at least making sure that the quick move to the inside is not there. They've allowed the New Orleans Saints to get inside on them. Wuerffel has found him. Touchdown earlier. That is another big first down. The Saints just won't go away. The New England Patriots, too good, though, right now, up by 10.
So a little breathing space for Wuerffel at his 25. Got the tight end again in motion. And on 1st and 10, a handoff to Lamar Smith. King tackled and brought down Brandon Mitchell. Now he backs up Henry Thomas, but today is backing up Chris Sullivan and Chris Slade combined in the stop.
And Chris Kenny coming off the corner from up. He's the left corner. Guessed right. It was a corner blitz, or defenses call that a corner cat.
You know, Sam, the defensive stats really don't look as good as many thought they would. Teams have been able to pick up the Patriots blitz package because they've built such a reputation doing that.
Well, they know they're coming, that's for sure. They do. They don't mind telling you and then doing it.
Second down and 10, and they're coming now. Wuerffel trying to dodge Johnson and cannot get out of the way. Fourth time he's been sacked. Ted Johnson, Teddy Bruschi. They brought the house, and down he goes for a fourth time.
Saints have got to get back to running the ball a little bit more because they are bringing the house. They're sensing they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're still in the third quarter. There's Bruschi coming hard. Mark Wheeler in on that one. It's 3 against 1. It's not fair.
Sometimes you know it's coming and you can't do anything about it.
Well, I understand. You know, what you do is you got to hunker down a little bit, put another tight end in there, put the big fullback in there one more time to block for Lamar Smith. Don't be afraid to run that ball just yet.
3rd and 18. Last time Wuerffel faced this, he got a first down pass back in the first half. Going deep here and incomplete. A little bit of contact, but no yellow on the field. They're going for Keith Poole. Steve Lofton was covering. Wuerffel scrapes himself off the turf, and New Orleans has got a punt.
That's just good defense. The receiver and the defender both have equal rights to that real estate out there, and if the defender, Steve Lofton in this case, has the lead and slows down and the receiver runs up his back, that's not a penalty.
Mark Royals to punt again. 33. He's been around, began back in the mid-'80s with Dallas. High punt. Troy Brown under it at the 38-yard line. He had a great return in the first half and sets up a pretty good return here with a lot of congestion around him. Knocked out of bounds at the 48. 9-yard return after the 45-yard punt by Royals. Tackle made by Chris Hewitt. The Patriots have it again. Patriots again by 10, and on 1st and 10 they throw it outside to their fullback Tony Carter. The ex-Bear picks up 4. Chad Cota, the ex-Carolina Panther, is on him.
You see, the Patriots are doing a lot of what we were talking about the Saints need to be doing a little bit more of. That is just that quick throw out in the flat. The Saints have been trying to get the ball inside, been successful all but once really to Cam Cleveland, but Bledsoe is just taking that little short. Now it's 2nd down and 5. All the options are open, run or pass.
Patriots using a quick rhythm, quick timing offense as dictated and taught by Ernie Zampese. 2nd down and 6. Great time, Bledsoe going deep, looking for Glenn. Incomplete at the 15-yard line. The pass to Glenn incomplete. Our pass never incomplete to Jim Nance in New York.
Over at his grave. All right, guys, check this out. The Jets spread them out. They're at the 5-yard line of Miami, and they give it to Curtis Martin for the touchdown. And they've held Miami so far to only 54 yards total offense. Back to Kevin and Sam.
Miami came in there unbeaten at 3-0.
And we're looking at the unbeaten so far New Orleans Saints at 3-0 right here, down by 10 to New England.
Derek Cullors is in, 3rd and 6. A pass incomplete. He was looking for Brisby. He caught a touchdown pass early in the game. Incomplete pass.
Well, let me tell you, Pete Carroll knows that they're going to be bringing the house. Mike Ditka look at all the people coming up underneath. It's a quick throw. If it's complete, you got a chance for one missed tackle and a walk-in for a touchdown. When you blitz, it's a bit of a gamble. The odds go down if you don't get to the quarterback. That time they got to Drew Bledsoe.
Here is the first punt today by Tom Tupa. Andre Hastings back. He tries to plant it inside the 5. Gets a great bounce. Volleyball back and down at the 2. Larry Wiggum got the ball on the volleyball on a 46-yard punt down by Tabucky Jones. When you're all pro and you block punts and down things like that, you can take a bow.
Boy, that is pretty. Now watch Larry Wiggum. He's going to jump, stays inbounds. His feet are still in the field of play. Doesn't matter where he comes down. And now, as long as the last guy holding that ball doesn't slide or celebrate or step into that end zone, which you see happen sometimes, the guys will make a great play, then they'll do something dumb. The New England Patriots did not very disciplined special teams. Dante Scarnecchia, the special teams coach, one of the best in the business. Absolutely. Everybody around the league respects the special teams of the New England Patriots. 1st and 10. Lamar Smith tries to give him some breathing space and then is swallowed by Ted Johnson.
No place to run, no place to hide. Brandon Mitchell there as well. Second down and about 11.
Lamar Smith felt like somebody grabbed his face mask a little bit there at the end, but what you're seeing now is the New England Patriots smell blood. They got them backed up. They're moving the ball on offense when they have to, and now they're going for the jugular. Absolutely right. And Ted Johnson has got his mouth open wider than anybody else. He wants a good bite of this thing.
That'll be the end of the third quarter with the Patriots leading the Saints 27-17. We'll return to the Louisiana Superdome after this message and a word from your local CBS station. We begin the fourth quarter with New Orleans stranded at their 2, facing second down and 11.
And the problem the Saints have right here is I don't think they've got a quarterback that can take them out of this situation right here. Danny Wuerffel is a hard worker. He'll do everything he has, but in a backed up come from behind, probably not enough.
He's got one running back, and he drops back to throw, and it's his tight end Cleveland, who's been his main target all day. He's going to be close to a first down, appearing to be about a yard shy. So on a gain of 10, it'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, you know, it's not all Danny Wuerffel now. He started out, the New Orleans Saints have started out 9 possessions. 6 of them have been at their own 20 or worse. Their average starting spot of a drive has been the 20-yard line. When you're marching that far against a good team and a good defense like the Patriots have, you're just not going to move the ball to score a lot of points.
Pete Carroll's done a good job with this team today.
Oh, he has, and a lot of pressure. He came in, followed Bill Parcells, a lot of conversation about that. Pete Carroll's proved himself.
Mark Wheeler on 3rd down and 1 flies through the line, knocks him down for a loss on the play. Chad Eaton was there as well, but what great defense by the New England Patriots.
Well, the strategy here was that the New England Patriots were to expect the pass. The Saints said they're going to be pass rushing. We'll hit one quick off the left side. Mark Wheeler wouldn't allow it. He scraped into that hole for a minus yardage. Fans don't like the call, but really it's got a percentage chance of making it.
Albeit small.
Albeit small, but you know, you've got a quarterback that has been sacked, and just get the ball out of there one time.
Wiggum just about blocked Royals. He fell into Royals and no flag. Here's Troy Brown back at the 40. And out racing the coverage, and there he goes. Brown again is off to the races. He got a great block, and he's knocked out of bounds by Hewitt. The boos are that Wiggum had gone into Royals, but there is no flag. And Wiggum came just that close to deflecting his second punt today, which really irritates Mike Ditka.
I got an explanation here. Let's see. If he touches the ball, he can touch the kicker. He rolls clearly underneath the kicker, but notice the official is not looking at that point. His eyes are away from the ball. If he doesn't touch the ball, and it's hard to tell from that if he did, that should have been a penalty. Actually, he could have been injured.
Nonetheless, the Patriots get great beginning field position.
Mark Royals punt. The referee is looking. This official is looking for the holding. Mark Royals gets the ball off. And it looks very much like nobody touched that ball. And there should have been a penalty. But right on the play is the referee.
1st and 10 pitch out, Robert Edwards. Brought down by Ink Aliaga. Gets 2. Royals still being looked at. If he can't punt, the place kicker Doug Bryan will take his place, and he is warming up.
Well, we're going to see, I think, Bryan doing the rest of the punting here. That looked like possibly a potential serious injury. May have been nothing more than a little sprain.
They lost their center early in the game, Jerry Fontenot. He's out for the day. 2nd down and 8.
New England in that take your time, eat the clock up, though.
Ben Coates in motion. Bledsoe given time, throws to Coates, intercepted on a deflection, picked off by Tyrone Drakeford. Bledsoe throws his 3rd interception today. It's the 4th Patriot turnover after coming in, not having turned it over all season long.
Bledsoe throws a bullet to Ben Coates right here. He's a little high as he reaches up. It goes right through his hands. Tyrone Drakeford, big interception last week and another big one today.
Following a Drew Bledsoe interception, his third today, Saints take over at their 25. Shotgun snap to Wuerffel, 1st and 10. Dumps it off, caught by Aaron Craver. He started last year for San Diego, the years before that with Denver. Tackle made by Ty Law on a gain of 1. Moments ago, the punter, Mark Royals, taken off the field.
That left ankle looked like it was turned severely. You probably won't know until the swelling goes down. It'll be a day or two before you know how serious that is, but clearly not coming back into this ball game.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
You know, Todd Sauerbrunn with the Chicago Bears out for the season. He tore some ligaments in his knee. Royals just another one of many punters to get whacked, this time to knock him out of the game.
And there's the punter for the rest of the ball game, Doug Bryan for the New Orleans Saints, who have controlled the ball over 11.5 minutes in this half to 5.5 for New England. It was just the reverse in the first half.
Kyle Turley, a rookie, is playing right tackle. They've got McCollum playing left guard.
That's the way they practiced all week, because they didn't think Clarence Jones would be ready.
1st and 10. Wuerffel hit as he throws. Floats one downfield, incomplete at the 31-yard line. The coverage by Chris Canny and Willie Clay on wide receiver Andre Hastings. Log on to NFL.com. Check out this week's Players Spotlight and Vikings wide receivers Jake Reed and Chris Carter. Plus, get the team-by-team matchups on NFL.com.
And another long down situation for the Saints. Like to keep Danny Wuerffel out of these situations. Remember, he's only a second-year player. This is his 5th start in his history in the National Football League. As successfully as he was at Florida, the NFL's different.
2nd down 10. They bring the blitz. Wuerffel looks into it, throws a pass. 1st down. Caught by tight end Cameron Cleveland. The rookie has been sensational. His 8th catch today. 15-yard pickup, tackle by Lawyer Malloy.
Mike Ditka said he reminded him of Jackie Smith, a great receiver, tight end. Cam Cleveland has been the go-to guy. As we said, Ben Coates has been the go-to guy on the other side of the ball for New England. But Danny Wuerffel now has found a comfort zone right there. He's getting that ball off quickly inside to Cam Cleveland.
Scored the game-winning touchdown last week in overtime in Indianapolis. On the 45, 1st and 10. Good time, flips it on the flat, dropped by Lamar Smith, and a flag at the 50.
Downfield, and it looked like defensive holding, which will be an automatic 1st down. Oh, the other way.
Against New Orleans.
A little shove off by the receiver going downfield.
Mike Ditka said that the turnaround for his team was last year here in a win against Seattle.
Pass interference, number 85 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat, 1st down.
You know, he felt like up to that point they were pointing fingers a little bit, and that's in that Seattle ball game, which was a win, they kind of, their fingers pointed back towards themselves. We control our own destiny. We make the mistakes. Let's correct them. And since that time, they've turned around the turnover problem that they had. Last year at -19, which was the worst in the league. This year, they come into this ball game at +6.
Penalty pushes it back, 1st and 20. Troy Davis is in the backfield. Wuerffel in the gun. Backs up. They set the screen up for Davis out of Iowa State. Finished 2nd in the Heisman to Wuerffel, and he's still on his feet. And close to a 1st down. He picks up 18. Lawyer Malloy, the tackle, on a spectacular screen pass and run.
Good setup. It's a good draw by the quarterback. He sets up, looks downfield, retreats a little bit. Now look at the blocking up front. Good solid push, and then the run. Then the second effort run coming out of the pile for more yardage. This is the way the Saints have played all year long. They just won't go away. Last week, they were all but beaten by the Indianapolis Colts, and then right at the end, a long pass, and then the tying touchdown, and then the win in overtime.
2nd and 1, he has to throw it because there's so much pressure applied by Brandon Mitchell. He's a speed rusher, and he shows it right there.
Little token fake right in there. When he rolls to the right, he's going to have somebody right in his face immediately. That time it was Brandon Mitchell, as you mentioned. That is a shove. Now, the officials are watching the quarterback. They're protecting these guys more than they ever have. And that time, it was just a gentle shove, but of course, he was up in the air, and when he came down, Danny Wuerffel goes to the ground, but that's not a penalty.
Well, protecting the quarterback, a pretty big issue in the league.
Well, it is, and we talked to Drew Bledsoe about it last night. He says, there's nothing else you can do. You can call the penalties when they're roughing us, but you can't change the rules anymore. We just have to play football.
3rd and 1. Pass is caught by Hastings. It is a first down. Sliding at the Patriot 42. He was working on Ty Law.
Ty Law thought he had an interception that time. Wuerffel moving quickly to his right. It's the only way he's gone today so far, to his right or straight drop back. Ty Law closing quickly, but just not enough. Actually, the fact the ball was thrown behind the receiver helped that one. It's tough for a receiver to make that turn. He's got to move at the hips. He can't just reach back with his arms. The shoulders don't go with the arms. If you rotate your hips, your shoulders turn, and you can reach back and make those behind the run throws.
Sometimes you got to catch it out of frame.
Out of frame. Great phrase. I like that. And you didn't make it up. You heard somebody else say it.
1st and 10. Wuerffel going deep. They're working on Canny, and it's an incomplete pass intended for Andre Hastings. Worked on Canny deep that time. They've worked on him deep a couple previous times in this game.
Yeah, they didn't start out working on Chris Canty. They were actually going everywhere else but up against Chris Canty, who's a second-year player. Ty Law on the other side is such a dominating, you call those guys erasers. You can kind of erase the guy that Ty Law covers. He always covers the best player on the field.
He wanted to.
He wants to. And then your best player, your best defenders want that assignment as well. But Chris Canty becomes the guy then that is the most vulnerable of the bunch. They're going after him here in the 3rd and the 4th quarter.
Pats by 10, 2nd down and 10. 7th play of the New Orleans drive. A block by Smith. Downfield it goes. Incomplete. He was throwing into double coverage. Chris Slade put the pressure on Wuerffel on a pass intended for tight end Cam Cleland.
This one could have been called right here. Very close. Now Wuerffel's going to get this ball off. Chris Slade is going to come from this side. Running back trying to block it. See, the ball's gone. And then the throw down. There are officials in the league that'll throw a flag on a play like that.
What do you think about that one?
Well, it wasn't a vicious throw. He pulled him down. He didn't drive him into the ground or throw, use that extra muscle to teach him a lesson. I think that's why the call wasn't made.
Troy Davis back in 3rd down and 10. Across the middle, ball is tipped. Catch made. Andre Hastings. It gets no better than that. 22-yard pickup and a first down. Oh, that is one for the Reals.
Let me tell you, that's as spot of catches you will see anywhere. He's just going to go right down the middle, underneath coverage. As you see right there, number 26, Chris Canty, we just talked about him, drops coverage. In comes Willie Clay to make the hit, and you will not see a better catch this year in the NFL as the one Andre Hastings just made.
Hastings, like Yancey Thigpen after him, leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another defection from Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. Well, the good teams lose good players because that's just about all they have, or they wouldn't be that good. Talking about Pittsburgh.
New Orleans is still breathing. 1st and 10 at the 20. Wuerffel again to the air. Moves up. Dumps it off. He's got a receiver, and it's over the head of Andre Hastings. Had there been a little less oomph and a little more of that, we'd have a brand new ball game.
Well, let me tell you, when you're going forward, now look at Hastings right here. He's going to make an outside move. Then he bounces up and he sees the scramble. He sees no one deep, so he goes. The quarterback, Wuerffel, was running in the direction of Hastings, so when he threw it, the ball already had momentum, and that's what carried it over his head. I tell you what, though, I made the comment I didn't think Wuerffel could bring him back from a 10-point deficit backed up like that. He's making me eat my words. And I couldn't be happier for a guy like this. This is a first-class human being right here, as well as a good player.
2nd down 10. Hastings is out. Shotgun snap. Blitz is on. Down he goes. Sacked for a 5th time. Teddy Bruschi, Chris Canty unloading on Wuerffel.
Protection scheme broke down there. No one picks him up. Coming clean right here. It's got to be a hot receiver or somebody's got to block.
And nobody has more college sacks than Derek Thomas and Teddy Bruschi. They are tied for the all-time lead.
Teddy Bruschi, 6'1", 245. You know, you're seeing more and more players in the league that are in that 6'1", 6'2 range. There for a while, everybody had to be 6'4 or better. But they move quicker. They can change direction. They're built lower to the ground.
Season high 5 sacks, 3rd and 17 across the middle. He's got a receiver again. A pinpoint throw right between the eyes to Greg Besh. A gain of 19, 1st and goal.
Coming out of the slot right here. He's just going to bend in the middle. This is that cover 2 defense. 2 deep safeties. Nobody laying deep in the middle. Willie Clay's the closest to him, but he's soft because he's got to cover the deep outside. Good read by Danny Wuerffel. Now that's reading the coverage right there. Used to be that offenses were built around quarterbacks set up, read the coverage, throw the right guy. Now the old West Coast offense is a progression. You memorize your number 1 receiver. If he's covered by the design of the play, number 2 ought to be open, and then number 3 and number 4.
From the 8, 1st and goal. To the end zone for Cleveland. Incomplete. The coverage by linebacker Chris Slade.
And again, Danny Wuerffel is getting hit. Every time he lets it go, he's getting pounded. And believe me, it doesn't matter if it counts as a sack or not. It still hurts. The ball's away. There's the hit from the blind side. Never saw that one coming.
That was
Look at the
McGinnis.
expression. Yeah. Time sack and hurries. Now, let me tell you right there. 5 sacks. Those look like the big numbers, but 15 hurries affects the course of the ball game. It also affects the temperament of that quarterback, because every time you get hurried, you get hit. Every time you get hit, you start thinking more.
2nd and goal across the middle. Smith, a pirouette, touchdown.
Lamar Smith slips out of the left side. They've made a lot of money on this kind of a throw. Cam Cleveland caught one. Lamar Smith catches this one. The linebackers just vacated. Teddy Bruschi, the closest linebacker in the area. Down in tight. You got to cover up the zones better than that.
Wuerffel is going to hold because Royals, the normal holder, the punter, is gone. Ryan, the extra point. And the New Orleans Saints are back in business. 7.5 to play in the game. They've got a 3-point game in New Orleans. New Orleans has come back in a long drive orchestrated by Danny Wuerffel. A touchdown pass to Lamar Smith. It's 27-24. The Patriots now by just 3.
You know, that drive, 13 plays. Every one was a pass. One was a sack. Danny Wuerffel did the job for him on that.
And Doug Bryan does the job for him on that one, keeping Derek Cullors in the end zone.
And we're going to hear some noise now. Pete Carroll said they practiced this week with leaf blowers making noise. They're going to...
This place is rocking from the 21st and 10. Edwards hit and brought down for a loss. Mark Fields. It'll be 2nd and 11.
And now, on this particular drive right here, it's real crucial that from the sideline, they get the plays in to Drew Bledsoe in a hurry. You see him looking over there. He's hearing in his headset in the side of the helmet, but trying to read the lips as well. Get the plays in a hurry because it's hard to hear.
They had trouble in Denver on opening night doing just that same thing.
Well, you do it. What happens? You get to the line of scrimmage, the crowd noise really kicks up as it is right now, and it takes away the audible, and you need a little extra time.
2nd and 9, the pass caught by Edwards. He's knocked into next week by Tyrone Drakeford. Drilled by the cornerback. But he gets a gain of 4.
It was still a nice game. Big play, an emotional play by Tyrone Drakeford. As a catch, boom. I don't think Robert Edwards ever saw it, so just holding onto the ball. I guess he caught it a little bit. Look at that. Almost knocked the ball loose. What a turnover that would have been. Tyrone Drakeford.
He learned how to play cornerback, he told us yesterday, from Deion Sanders when the two played for San Francisco. But maybe not hit like that, because Deion can't hit like that. Sacked by Chris Hewitt. The Patriots have got a punt.
Coming in from this side and right here, look, untouched, nobody's looking. Woo! Chris Hewitt is a defensive back coming in untouched. Pressure coming from both sides, really. They tried to pull, the Patriots tried to pull a guard from the inside. He never got there to pick up the blitz.
Tupa, second punt. And sends it way downfield for Andre Hastings, backpedaling to his 21. Not a lot of places to go. Few options down at the 29. Tackled by All-Pro Larry Wiggum. A 64-yard punt and a 9-yard return. Here comes Wuerffel in New Orleans. 5.5 left in regulation. Louisiana Superdome. Wuerffel, who just took his team downfield for a touchdown, has it back at his own 30, 1st and 10. He passed, and he wants to go back and pass, and Chris Canny came back with the sack 6th time. They have doused Wuerffel today.
Now, you know what happened? The pressure comes because they decide to blitz on the last drive. 13 out of 13 snaps they were throwing the ball. They figured they'd come back and do the same thing because they marched down and scored. But look at Kenny coming in right there. Nobody gets to him. If you have set a pattern and you give that defense time to go over and check out the tendency charts, they're going to try to guess what you're going to do again. They came with a counter, and that was the blitz.
So you're talking about adjustments.
Adjustments, absolutely. Good one by New England.
2nd down and 20. Sidearm delivery and trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage was running back Lamar Smith. Henry Thomas was all over him.
And there's another adjustment on the last play. There was the blitz. They counted on the blitz coming again. They were going to throw the ball behind the blitz on the screen. New England countered with a zone. They showed blitz, backed out into the zone, stopped the screen. Nice little game of chess going on right here between both coaches. Now an obvious passing situation.
Saints have had 2 come from behind wins already this year. 3rd and 21. They blitz again. Wuerffel moves up and down he goes for a 7th time. Authoring this one, Willie McGinnis. Bruschi helped out, but McGinnis made the hit.
Now watch. The pressure just comes so quick. Wuerffel is finding himself not able to look downfield, not even being able to hold the ball long enough for receivers to get open. So he's moving up into the pocket, and that's when everything's collapsing. The New Orleans Saints are going to get the ball one more time, probably in this ball game. So it's going to be 4-down situation. 3 points or 7. Either one counts.
Doug Bryan is kicking in place of the injured Mark Royals. And going through the New Orleans media guide, this kid has never punted before. And his effort here is near midfield. Troy Brown dancing, grabbed and brought down by reserve wide receiver Brett Besh. It's a 34-yard punt as Bryan fills in for the veteran Mark Royals.
Okay, Kevin, here's the strategy. On offense, the Patriots are going to use all of the 40 seconds. Both teams have 3 timeouts. New Orleans will start calling their timeouts on defense.
They send Robert Edwards down the middle for a gain of 3 on 1st down, tackled by Mark Fields.
They're not going to call it on this 1st down. New England will try to use up as much of the 40-second clock as they can, which will take it down close to 3 minutes. And then the New Orleans Saints are going to have to start using their timeouts to give their offense a chance to have enough time to march down and get into field goal or touchdown territory. Now, if New England can make 2 first downs, the game's over.
Dante Scarnecchia on the left, the special teams coach. And, of course, the head coach, Pete Carroll, in his 2nd year. 2nd down and 7. The pitch out, a block from Carter, a run by Edwards, and banging his way with the flag thrown at the 41 goes Robert Edwards, whacked by Alex Molden. The flag against New England.
And Dave Wallabaugh is the culprit, and he's pleading his case big time. As is Pete Carroll on the sideline.
This is only the 3rd Patriot penalty today.
They played a good football game. Both of them have.
Holding. Number 64, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
The center, Wallabaugh.
Wallabaugh, he's had trouble trying to reach Leroy Glover most of the day. He's so quick up the field, and he offsets from the center, and you reach that arm out after a while. Big play right there, though, because it stopped the clock and also puts him in a 2nd and long situation. New England.
2nd and 17 to be exact. Bledsoe. Pocket crumbles, the pass dropped by the rookie running back Robert Edwards. 3rd and 17.
There'll be something said in the meeting on Monday about look the ball in. He turned his head away before the ball arrived. They threw a high percentage completion right there. Should have been completed.
But even if he had caught it, he was well shy of a first down.
That's okay. He would have picked up something. They're not interested that much in the first downs on this particular play. They want to move it a little bit closer on 2nd and 17, give them a chance on 3rd down. But now they leave themselves with 3rd and 13 or 3rd and 17. If they throw the ball, they could stop the clock again.
They've got to get to the New Orleans 40. 3rd and 17. He flips it out, caught by Derek Cullors. He'll dance his way, diving inside the 45 to the 44. Shy of a first down by 3. Picks up 13 when he needed 18. Rob Kelly makes the tackle.
I'm surprised New Orleans is not calling timeout. New England's going to punt the ball. The strategy there was we don't care if we make the first down. We're going to just get the ball on a sure completion. Screen downfield. Linemen looked like they were very close to being downfield early, but nothing called. And now just back up New Orleans if you're for the New England team. Back them up. Put your defense on the field.
High snap handled by Tupa. The bounce inside the 5. Volleyball to the goal line. They're still fighting for it. And we have not seen a ruling. They pick it up. It's a live ball.
Live ball.
It's a live ball and picked up by reserve wide receiver Andre Hastings. This is a legal play. Hastings still in bounds and knocked out at the 25. What an improbable, unconscionable play this late in the game.
Once that ball is touched right there by the New England Patriots, it's a live ball. It's a free ball as well. It can be picked up and run out of the end zone. It doesn't matter if it's going in the end zone if you choose to go. No one's touched him. His knee's down, but nobody has touched him. Now the ball is gone down the sideline by Hastings. Beautiful, smart, heads-up play by the Saints.
Pitch out goes to Smith. He wants to throw it, it appears. Then he cuts the corner and picks up about 5 yards. Maybe 4. Tackle made by Ted Johnson. He looked like he was going to throw in that.
Oh, he was. You could tell by the way he bellied back on the catch and looked downfield instead of going ahead and trying to get around the corner. Gutsy call right there, especially on the first play, because had they scored, they would have left a lot of time for New England.
I'm still in shock after what I just saw on that special teams play.
Bobby April, the coach, the special teams coach of the New Orleans Saints, is a very animated coach to begin with, but he could not be happier. It was a smart play. You practice that all the time. It only shows up once or twice a season.
27-24. Patriots by 3. 2nd down 6. Wuerffel pump fakes. He's found a receiver going low, and is it caught? Bobbled and dropped incomplete to Andre Hastings. The official had a great line of sight. Incomplete pass.
The ball was thrown low. Hastings coming back to it. You know, your point is exactly right. The official had the perfect line of sight to see it. We're going to see it as well right here. Ball is down low. And you can see the ball laying underneath Hastings. It did come off the ground. It was absolutely correct call.
Great call.
One more look at it. Ball is down, covered up a little bit that time by Chris Canny. You can't quite see as well. But on the first one, you could see the ball did bounce off the turf. Good camera work.
3rd and 6 from the 21. Wuerffel hit as he throws. Outside to Craver. Getting down to the 19 for a meager gain of 2. Tackle made by Larry Wiggum. It's 4th down. They're going to try to tie it with a field goal.
I'm surprised New England is not calling timeout right here.
They want to, and their coach, Pete Carroll, signaling that on the sideline.
Oh, man.
Let's go to the play that has spun this game around.
Now, the rule is this. Once the ball is touched by the kicking team, New England, they drop the ball. The ball is now free. It can be picked up. If you fumble it 15 yards later, it's still free. The guy that makes a little bit of a mistake right here, standing there, is Larry Wingham. He's watching this take place, thinking the play should be over. Straight down the sideline is Andre Hastings. Only the punter had a chance to stop him on that one, Tom Tupa, and did.
I'm going to look at that again because I thought a Patriot player, when he was trying to bat it back in, stepped on the goal line. If he does that, that ball is down. Watch closely right there. Did he step in?
Very close.
If he's on the goal line, that is considered the end zone.
The play would have been over had he stepped on that line, correct.
Danny Wuerffel is the new holder. A 37-yard try by Doug Bryan, and Wuerffel calls time.
Get it right. That's the thing to do, Danny. You're a new holder.
Oh, here comes Royals. Shades of Willis Reed with the New York Knicks. Hobbling back on the field for a possible game-tying field goal by the normal holder for field goal kicker Doug Bryan.
And I want to tell you something. Doug Bryan right now feels so much better about this kick just because the guy that he works with all week long, Mark Royals, is in there holding it. And Mark doesn't have to move much. If the snap is good, if it's right in the strike zone, he won't be bothered by the injury. If he has to reach for it a little bit, it could affect this hold.
It's his left ankle, the one that he is planning on, that is the bad ankle that he hurt earlier in the game.
Well, remember the last scene we saw was him on the back of the cart with that ankle wrapped up with ice going in for x-rays.
This to tie with a minute and a half from 36 yards away. And we are tied in New Orleans. After being down 27-17, we are tied. The Saints have come back, and Bobby April and his special teams have done the job in the fourth quarter. What a game.
Tremendous game. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining with 1:29 left. That's important. If New England has a couple of incompletions on third down, look for the defense of New Orleans to call timeout. Try to get the ball one more time to win it in regulation.
Pete Carroll's New England Patriots have not made a first down since 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Right now, Drew Bledsoe's got to pull something out of his pocket.
Let me tell you, this is a good offense. Top quarterback, compliments to the Saints defense to hold him to that.
What do you tell your quarterback in a situation like this?
Well, you remind him of the timeouts first. I always make sure he knows that. Tell him to turn to the referee behind you to call timeout. Don't go running down the field to find another official where the ball ended up. It saves you 4 or 5 seconds. Tell your receivers and your backs to get out of bounds and to protect the ball. The defense is going to be trying to strip the ball away from you. Beyond that, it's just play mistake-free. You don't want to coach him too much because then he gets tentative with the ball. Obviously, you never want to throw an interception. I never would say that to the player because as soon as you introduce that negative thought, you've probably done the wrong thing.
They've really probably got to get to about the 35-yard line for Vinatieri.
That's right. And 35-yard line is about a 52-yard, 53-yard field goal.
And he's kicked a 52-yarder already this year.
Absolutely.
Ryan will kick off. It's a short field the Patriots are working with. Here is Chris Canny from the goal line, and he's out to the 20. On a punt by New England, they tried to down it. Did his foot touch the goal line? Boy,
it is very close. The official is right there, though. You have to give him credit. He's looking right down. It doesn't matter if the ball's in.
And he goes to a knee.
It doesn't matter. No one's touched him. Now, it looks like, though, you're right. It looked like Larry Wingham had his hand on his shoulder while he was still on a knee in the end zone. Boy, that one's going to get a review this week.
2 important aspects of what might be the most important play of the game. It's 1st and 10 for Bledsoe. Slings a pass, and it's caught by Troy Brown. He picks up 9, stops the clock, more importantly, at 1:17.
You know, going back to the key play there, that punt a moment ago, there was almost confusion. Larry Wingham looked like he thought the play was over with, and he wasn't trying to make a tackle, but it did look like he put his hand down on Andre Hastings, and that would have constituted a tackle.
2nd down 1. Blitzes on, passes away, and it's caught. A first down, Troy Brown, who's become ever more reliable for Bledsoe, a pickup of 16.
And a quick timeout for New England. They're down to 1 timeout with 1:09 left to go. 5, 10, 15, 20, about 20 more yards, 22, 23 yards, and they're in Adam Vinatieri's field goal range. In fact, confident field goal range. I think this guy's probably as good as anybody out there, kicking from around 50 yards. Coaches believe he is. There's a cool customer there under a lot of pressure on the road. Crowd is loud. They worked, we mentioned earlier, with leaf blowers, trying to create the sound noise that a crowd makes in a dome right here, and that work's going to pay off here in the next minute 9.
They got it first down and 10.
There's the loneliest guy in the place. Nobody wants to hang around Adam Vinatieri. Leave him to his thoughts.
Colors with the block. Great pass to Ben Coates to the 44. A first down. Clock continues to tick at a minute remaining.
They've only got one left. They want to save that one for the last, say, 25 seconds of the ball game right here. They need about 15 yards.
First and 10. Bledsoe going deep. He's got a receiver. It's caught by Vincent Brisby at the Saint 18-yard line.
Chad Cota's right there in position. The ball is laid out to a spot. This is a spot throw. What I mean by that is the quarterback is just going to throw to an area. It's the receiver's job to get there. He gets there and then holds onto the ball. All you have to do is just hold on to that ball long enough to get that second toe touchdown inbounds, and Vincent Brisby, second big play of the game for him.
On the 18, first and 10. Derek Colors. No gain. They lost about a yard.
Probably timeout New Orleans. Saving time for themselves.
Now, how important is it for them to put Vinatieri on the right hash mark?
Well, the hash marks, remember, are measured along the uprights. It's not like in college where you got the wide hash marks. So if you take the uprights, the distance, the width of the uprights, the hash marks march all the way down the field. Not as big a deal. Generally, you try to put it right in the middle so that you've got an absolutely equidistant, you like that word?
Oh, I do.
Equidistant shot, left or right of the uprights. But Adam Vinatieri, from this range, left or right hash mark would make no difference.
We're going to look at that special teams play for a final time. There are two chances here. It appears as though, number one, a New Orleans player would probably have been touched while on a knee in the end zone.
Well, if he's touched, even if it's not a tackle effort, if he's just touched, then he is down. We're going to run out of time. We'll get it later.
Second down, 12 from the 20. Robert Edwards looked like he may have juggled that ball when he got the handoff. Here's a rookie who has never fumbled, and he's down to the 18-yard line.
Excuse me for exhaling like that. I had to go because it looked like he was going to lose that ball. Put the ball right in the stomach of your most reliable. Now, here's the play.
Step right there on the end line.
If he touched the end line right there, it's going to come out to the 20-yard line. The play is over at that point. The official rule that he didn't touch it, obviously. And off of that, they're going to rule inconclusive.
Field defense.
Mike Ditka does not understand that call. Illegal procedure defense called against the New Orleans Saints, which will give New England another 5 yards towards their field goal effort, which is obviously what they're working on now, is just eating the clock up so the last play of the game is the field goal itself. Bledsoe on his sideline talking it over. Now this is where you...
Play. Yeah.
5-yard penalty against the defense and replay the down. So now the New England Patriots really have everything in their hands. It's only second down. Not a very good explanation from the official as to the reason for the flag. Still one timeout apiece showing on the clock, on the board rather, for each side. New England's just going to put this ball on the ground. You may even see Drew Bledsoe just hold on to it, not even run the risk of a Pasargic handoff. John McVay of the New York Giants still remembers that famous one years ago.
Too many men on the field. The referee mic was not working, so there was no explanation. Too many men on the field. 5-yard penalty to the 15. It's second down. And Edwards inside the 10 to the 9. A gain of 6. Don Davis makes the tackle.
Well, they don't need any more yardage. And the New Orleans Saints are going to let it go down, and then bring in an all-out rush to try to block it. No, they now have decided to call a timeout. That'll leave 13 seconds on the clock, which would probably leave nothing more than the kickoff. Mike Ditka saying, why did you do that? Either do it early or don't do it at all. Good football game, though, all the way. Well coached on both sides. Mike Ditka defending that 3-0 start. Pete Carroll, only one loss in the season. Knew they were coming in off of a bye week into a tough situation. Players come back. You don't know which players are coming back full speed and which ones are coming back a little rusty off the bye week. It's always a scary week for coaches. And my guess is that Drew Bledsoe will not hand this ball off. I'm surprised they handed it off on the last snap. You want to know?
What do you think he'll do?
Well, I think he'll just take a snap, move maybe to the center of the field, and then kneel down on one knee, let the clock run down inside 5 seconds, call timeout, and kick the field goal. New England has one timeout left.
3rd down 1. Bledsoe on the drive. You're right. You called it, Coach. Bledsoe 4 of 4 on the drive, 63 yards. Patriots will take their final timeout.
Right. He goes over to the referee, says when he gets down to 4 or 5 seconds, I want a timeout.
Adam Vinatieri has 2 overtime game-winning field goals in his short 3 years in the NFL.
Now, let me tell you what's going on right now. Everyone on that defensive side of the ball is saying, here's our season. We're undefeated. We're not giving up on this one snap. On the other side of the ball, the New England Patriots are saying, everybody protect your inside. No leaks inside. Make it come all the way around the corner. And then it comes down to a good, sharp 7-yard pass between the legs of the center. That's all a snap is a forward pass or a backward pass. Good hold and pass through the ball by Adam Vinatieri.
27-yard field goal to take the lead by Adam Vinatieri. It is up, it is good, and the Patriots, who at one time led by 10, only to watch the New Orleans Saints come charging back, have gone up with 3 seconds left in the game. It's 30-27 New England, and the previously unbeaten Mike Ditka-led New Orleans Saints have played an incredible football game against truly one of the elite teams in the NFL in New England.
But there are no moral victories, Kevin. Your guts are just ripped out when this happens. Good protection, although the Saints do get some penetration, but a good quick hold. On a kick like that, the ball is snapped, placed, and kicked inside 2 seconds, usually about 1.8 seconds. So you've got to get there in a hurry to get it down, to get a block.
The New England Patriots came in 2-1. New Orleans came in undefeated at 3-0. And New England, off a bye, was worried about how they would respond, but they have met the challenge late in the game. Vinatieri will kick off from the 30-yard line. With just 3 seconds remaining, the Saints out of timeouts. They've got to hope for a miracle, but we have seen things pretty close to miracles already in this game.
Think about the fumble, the Keith Mitchell run, the Henry Thomas touchdown of the interception, the beautiful play on the special teams that set up the Saints.
Adam Vinatieri's field goal late in the game with 6 seconds left has put the New England Patriots on top. In a squib kick goes all the way through, and Kadri Ismail then flips it off, and back it goes again to Brett Besh. The ball is still alive. The clock is run out, and here comes a reserve defensive back. And a flag is thrown, and the ball's still thrown around. It's like the Flintstones on the field, and finally, they blow it dead. Kadri Ismail, that ball may have touched about 15 different players and proceeded no more than 15 feet.
On the receiving team, by rule, the ball is dead. The penalty is declined. Game is over.
And that'll do it. And the New Orleans Saints have lost their first game of the year. And New England and Pete Carroll come out with a game-winning field goal from Adam Vinatieri and beat New Orleans 30-27. NFL postgame is coming up with Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert. What a game. More twists and turns to this one than I can recall.
Well, two good football teams, and we haven't been saying that when the New Orleans Saints have been playing in recent past. But Mike Ditka has his team on a roll. Even though they lost today, they played like winners.
Drew Bledsoe on the final drive goes 4 of 4, 63 yards. Vinatieri's game-winning field goal. And the Patriots go to 3-1. Stay tuned for our CBS studios in New York and Jim Nance. From all of us here in New Orleans, good night.